So while we start, let's start with introductions like always. First, we have Keith.
What's up? I'm Keith Varney. I play Bart the Basher.
And we have Sarah.
Hey, I'm Sarah Scanlon. I play the gnome artificer Zink Gadinka.
And Jamin.
Hi, I'm Jamin. I play King Herb.
And Seth.
Seth Christenfeld. I play Colker Dirtwood, the formerly were-rat halfling drug czar / pizza baron who has now been repeatedly perforated by a broadsword.
Come on, multi-hyphenate. Let's go.
Oh, yeah. Also a really good dancer.
A great dancer. We have Sha'Keerah, Kerri Kearse, who plays Sha'Keerah, has been a guest star and is now moving into her own panel here at Hollywood Squares. Kerri, do you want to introduce your character?
Yes, I am playing Elven Bard, Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah, legally distinct. And I just got capped into the afterlife, so I'm real excited to see what happens next.
And as
shout
always,
out to my first character death being on a stream. I love it. I love it.
Wow.
Yes.
We'll have a mystery guest star joining us very soon. Right. So when we left off, Colker had been killed and Sha'K had been killed. There were two guards. You're in Thed's house. He had told you that there are two warring factions, the lawmakers, one side the law, and the other side is the revolutionaries, which are basically anarchists. And these law and chaos have come together to try to take over Sigil. And they're marching towards the Civic Fest Hall, where Sha'Keerah was the factol of. Thed has devised a devious plan to go to a leatherworking shop that he owns nearby and call forth a bunch of demons to try to wipe out both sides and take over the city. He had tried to trap down all the adventurers, and they had caused this huge fight. Now, still left in the house, we have Zink Gadinka and Bart the Basher. Thed has run away, and King Herb and Flotsam with two knights upstairs. I think we'll pick up right in that fight. And the first thing that happens is that Flotsam, who's busily transcribing lyrics to write another Bart the Basher ode, and I think happy that Sha'Keerah has died because he was worried there was going to be competition in the bardic songs. He is immediately transformed, and suddenly he disappears. And when he disappears, we have Magister Thalia.
Hey!
What?
Welcome back from season 1.
Hello. Glad to be back.
So
From across the way, I shout, Magister Thalia?
Yes. It's good to see you all again. You can see that Magister Thalia is somewhat thawing in, has little bits of frost all over the bits of, the eyebrows, the hair, has some sort of like a pelt wrapped around them that looks whitish with some reddish stains on it that look to be bloody of some sort as they sort of walk closer to each of you. You've been gone so long. This is just sorry.
I'm gonna interrupt and say I think I still have a dude that I'm fighting. So like, we will do this heartfelt catch up in just a moment. But do you want to help me?
Yeah, absolutely.
You want to stab anybody?
Yeah. Because
absolutely.
There are, correct me if I'm wrong. There are two guards in here, right? That are still.
There are two
fighting?
guards in here. One of them, it looks pretty strong. The one who had killed Sha'K when they were a Yethound, and the other looks very weak. He's bleeding out all over, and this is the one that you're fighting, the one who just killed Colker.
All right, I'll say I got this one. Why don't you take the other one?
Sounds good. Perfect.
I know you just got here, but like, I'll get you a tea later.
Oh, certainly. Yes.
You look cold.
A bit. Cool.
Ink is not in the room, right? I'm out like on the stairs.
You're sort of like at the bottom of the stairs. I don't think you would hear or know this yet.
I would not hear this.
And
Okay.
Herb, do you throw an attack as you're talking?
Obviously.
And what do you
I
do?
take my
Yeah.
boomerang out and I go for the kill across the neck with it. Oh wait, I need to get my dice. Hold on one sec.
And Magister Thalia, do you sort of run to attack? When you go over, you'll see that there is this Elven Bard. And what instruments did you have with you, Sha'K?
I had a lute, and I'm pretty sure Bart actually might still have my soprano recorder. So just my lute.
Right. So
Recorder.
maybe, yeah, so 30, so you can get there. Thalia, you see 30 feet away from you, there's another guard who is just, there seems to be sort of an Elven Bard with a lute by their side.
Yes. I suppose sorry, I'm having a bit of trouble seeing the little thing. Oh, there we go. Yeah, I mean, I'll go up to assist if I can get there. And I'll take, oh no, it's been a second, sorry.
Well, you work that. I think King Herb has his dice. King Herb, how's the boomerang do?
Oh, the boomerang did quite well. That's gonna be a 26 to hit.
Yep, that gets through.
And then for damage, that is gonna be a 3 + 12, 15.
Yeah, so that boomerang, how do you kill him?
It was right across the neck. It was just like I didn't even throw it. I just kind of like
sliced it. Jeez, you could have
feel the slice.
You could have done that so many times while Colker was being perforated.
And yet he chose not to.
I can't imagine when that's ever happened before.
And Thalia, as you run off the body of this bard, do you do anything to this knight?
I rolled a 19 to hit with my crossbow if I'm far away enough.
Oh, so you're gonna say you're not gonna charge? Yeah. Okay, great. You stay back here.
Yeah, I think so.
Mhm.
I forgot that I have ranged weapons. Unless you want me to just punch him. Does a 19 hit though?
A 19 does hit.
Okay, wonderful. Then that is 13 damage.
Yeah, that you significantly wound this person. Before I get to that, let's just sort of jump to Bart out in the hallway. The Thed has just turned into mist. Your idea to kill him with a lightning strike was ineffective. So
I wasn't allowed to even try.
True, but as a consolation prize, your astral dog has run up to you and is now astrally licking you and nuzzling you.
Hey, Dot. Oh, so wait, so it's just Zinc and the daughter and Mist.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I really wanted to finish killing him. He wasted beer. It's terrible. It's wrong. What do we do now? What's happening?
Are you
I don't
yelling that
understand
down
anything.
to Zinc?
Yeah. Zinc, what are we doing?
I am going to turn to Alicia and say, does your father have anything hidden in this house that we should know about? A study, a library, an office? I need to know where he keeps all of his stuff.
She says, oh, I do happen to actually know something. My dad, when I left, he made this the guest bedroom, and when I visited a little while ago, I noticed behind the fireplace there was a secret staircase.
Yes.
Zinc goes down the secret staircase.
Part 2.
And Barb runs down the stairs and comes in with Alicia up the secret staircase.
That secret staircase. Me and Dot, we're gonna go check it out.
All right. As you come through, you can hear a man whimpering, and I'll say that you're able to get into a room, and bound and bruised and obviously tortured, you see Hobard, which was the factal of the Aethar, which you had met previously.
What? Is he gagged? Can I undo his things?
Yeah,
Can
he's
you-
gagged, and he's just, there's obviously been horrible magic and spells and piercing and bludgeoning damage all over him.
Okay. I'm gonna ungag him.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and cast Cure Wounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's 1d8 plus 3.
Okay.
So he gets 6.
That brings him back a little bit, and he sort of coughs and splutters up blood, and he says, "Oh, all I wanted to do was make death democratic."
Yeah, but you wanted to kill a lot of people in the process, so we couldn't get on board. You understand that, right?
I realize now it was a mistake. That Fed tortured the information out of me. He stole my orb. He destroyed it. How could I ever believe that the Factals could work together in the afterlife if they clearly can't work together on Sigil?
That's true, man. I get it. I agree with you. Listen, what did you tell him exactly? Because he's gonna get some demons and kill everybody. You were only gonna kill some people. He's gonna kill everybody. So we need to.
I told him how the 3 Factals had formed an alliance to try to upset and throw Judgment City into chaos by bringing together, calling Apophos out, sending it to the prime material world to cause death and destruction. And it was me, and it was Scazius, and it was Factal Pentar, and that only Scazius is left.
Okay.
Bart,
So
you're
I
hearing
wanna
all this too.
I don't understand a word.
I want to get
I'm petting
Magister
God.
Thalia down here because they're the ones who've been affected by that snake, and they probably have more information.
Okay, so we'll bring Thalia in, but before we do that, let's jump just a second. Well, are you gonna just go downstairs, go run upstairs to get Magister Thalia?
Is there anyone with a bracelet in that room still? Yeah,
Yeah.
Herb.
Well, you have a bracelet. Yeah, and Herb has a bracelet.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to think into my bracelet that we need Magister Thalia to come down immediately because we have someone who is responsible for the snake being let loose in GaienBerr.
Okay. Let's
Roger.
jump. I hear that.
Copy.
Let's jump for just a second away from that. After you were destroyed, you have ended up in Judgment City, Sha'Keerah and Colker. Now, it is much more crowded, Colker, than last time you were here. In fact, it seems to be absolute chaos everywhere. There are Gozu Oni all over the place trying to keep charge. The waiting room is packed. You know, people seem to be in line forever. You just see sort of craziness all around you.
Is that ugly guy in the back row?
Yes. In the back row, someone else has recently died.
Oh no, I can't see it.
It's like a Stan Lee cameo. It's the Dungeon Master's headshot.
From when? Is it your current headshot? That would be amazing.
No, this is the dead youth. This is my youth that has died.
I see it.
The
What an
hopes and
Easter egg.
dreams.
Well, good eye, Colker.
Pretty funny.
Anyway,
And I think he's awarded inspiration for that. So, what do you guys do?
I'm like agape, like, what the hell?
this
like,
place looks awfully familiar.
You've been here before?
I feel like I have. I don't remember precisely.
Huh.
But then the last thing I do remember is just getting stabbed and stabbed and stabbed. People don't usually stab with a broadsword. You usually do more slashing.
Yeah.
I got stabbed.
Oof.
One of
I
the
think I got stabbed too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I was stabbed to death also, so I feel your pain, literally.
You would notice, by the way, that you have none of your items. You have none of the armor. You are both only wearing robes. The only thing that you do have, Colker, is the friendship bracelet has tattooed itself onto your wrist, and it traveled with you.
Ooh,
Interesting.
that's helpful.
What is that?
It's my first headshot.
That's amazing.
We're gonna do embarrassing headshot night. I mean, everybody's time to.
Oh,
to
I've
pull
got you
knuckles.
all beat. Just you carry on adjustment, City. Hold on.
Okay. I think through the bracelet, and as much as I can, given that it is no longer an actual bracelet and now is just a tattoo
It's a part of you.
on my arm. I think I'm dead. This probably isn't going to work out so well. With hopes that maybe they will hear it and someone else will commit some sort of sacrifice to come and save me.
Do you say that into the
Zink
bracelet?
hears it.
I
Zink
think that into the bracelet, because the many established that the bracelet can work by thought. Yes. So that's what I think into the bracelet.
All right. Bart replies, "I can't talk now, Colker. I'm petting my dog Dot."
Well, at least I know it works.
Zink says, "Don't worry, Colker. I'll get your stuff. Unlike what you did when you left my armor behind
Ooh.
in the crater."
I'm really sorry about that.
Yeah, you might
He
get
starts to
some
cry
of your
because
stuff
she
back.
made him feel bad.
Bart would hear that too. Okay, so you'll notice that there are like sort of 6 tellers in the middle. Each one is manned by a panda barracorn, and
Yes.
the panda barracorn say, "Oh, who's next? Who's next? Come up, quick, get out of the way. There's more here. Come up. I need you both to roll a 1d4, Sha'K and Colker, and tell me what you get."
A 3.
Also
Okay.
a 3.
Oh, also a 3? Okay.
Yeah.
So they say, "Oh, you need to go to the overflow room. Both of you go to the overflow room. It's sort of too crowded over there to the overflow room, please." And you are both sort of pushed over into this room. When you walk into the room, you see several beds lined up and several people are sleeping. And an old woman comes up and says, "Oh, hello, welcome to the overflow room. Take a seat, take a little nap, no problem."
Thanks.
Okay.
Thank
Aren't
you.
we taking like the biggest nap right now that it's possible to take? Why would we
Oh, it's just good. It's good to rest. You could be here a long time. I saw one person. He got they're on number 4 right now. I saw a person with number 1,239,637,420
Wait, where do we get our numbers?
from the panda barracorns. But don't worry, just take a nap.
This person's trying
I'm
to get
not
us to go
really
to
all
sleep
that tired.
really hard. Yeah.
They're lovely beds, really lovely little beds.
I have to admit that I don't really trust the beds here. Not sure I trust them to, not put me into a deep sleep for 700 years or something when I've got stuff to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna sit beside the beds, and as an elf, I don't sleep anyway. I mostly just like meditate. So I'm just gonna but I'm gonna pretend to be asleep, but with my eyes open. So I'm just gonna make pretty convincing snoring sounds, but with a soft gaze, just staring into space.
Wait, what would that sound like?
It's kind of just kind of like that.
While you're doing that, you are approached by a creature who sort of runs in, and everyone sort of moves out as soon as they come in, and you hear people sort of whispering. And what they start to whisper is they say things like, "He rules the land with May in his heart, and wants you to know right from the start, all subjects are so precious and rare, they can count on Royal Furby always to be there." And in enters a beautiful Furby wearing a crown, and he says, "Witakolulu, Sha'Keerah, Wata me, come with me."
Oh my god. It's my god.
Oh my god. Is it played by Jamin as a child?
It's beautiful.
That's such an
Staring
adorable
into my
Wasn't that gorgeous?
So serious.
So you all
Just such soulful
there's a whole
eyes and
portfolio.
old soul.
Should I get to the bathing suit ones?
Probably not. We don't want to go on a list.
No, hard pass. But
and
on
this-
SVU, I'd play the perpetrator. So
not with the goatee. The soft
That's with the
goatee.
oh my god.
That goatee light.
That's right.
Oh, it's so good.
Alright.
the Furby tells you that they have a very low number and that you're sort of ushered into a special immediate judgment room.
Okay, I love that I'm proficient in Furbish now in the afterlife, and I also that West you are too apparently. You found some Furbish dialogue.
Hello, melee.
Oh my god.
Is that Elmo or a Furby?
Somewhere between
less the
those
same
and
sound.
a Gungan.
Unai waloni we.
The terrifying sounds of my childhood. I love
That
it.
is what Furby sounds like.
Yeah, it is.
We're off the rails now. We're like 20 minutes in. We're supposed to be off the
Let's
rails.
jump
in
back.
about an hour.
Let's jump back. Let's jump back into the fight. So you you guys have had a lot of stuff sent through your bracelets right now, and with this information, what do you do in the fight, King Herb and Magister Thalia?
I will say that I had an extra attack, so I rolled it at an extra 7 damage to that, just both on a knee, just bolting 2 cross bolts into that guy's body.
Actually,
just
let's
for the
give him
record.
an attack. He sort of runs across
good.
at you, and he swings his great sword down on a melee attack, and he rolls a critical failure. He rolls a natural 1, and as he sort of tries to jump across this sort of restraining rack, he falls prone on the floor right in front of you, and it's your hit, Magister Thalia. Let's get King Herb first.
All right. I'm going to, whilst cartwheeling towards this guard, yell towards Magister Thalia, "You must go downstairs. You must. And you must find Zinka Dinka.
Oh.
I've got this.
You're giving orders now. All right.
I'm a king, aren't I?
Sure.
Well, I guess you haven't known me as a king, but I was like, I'm a king. Yes,
Yeah, is that something that Talia knew about?
I think the whole, I mean, you haven't seen since the royal wedding, which occurred during a great finale battle on the ramparts of the wall, scored by Rockstar Flotsam. I think the whole town has known about him, and there's a lot of rumors swirling around. One is that he bankrupted a city to build some magical weapon. That's, some people are complaining about his poor economic policies. I think other people know that he brought a god down through a portal and then disappeared through that same portal months ago, and through that same portal came a sun-eating serpent.
Oh shit. I'm the cosmos.
The moment when the hero realizes he's the villain.
Wow. Okay, cool.
You don't have the high ground.
Are we the
At any
baddies?
rate, I think Talia will oblige if it seems like King Herb has it
Thank
covered
you.
with the prone guy. He's the only one alive in the room. Or no, there's another folk.
No, he's the only one alive in the room.
Oh, the other one's dead. Okay. Yeah, then I'll go ahead and sneak out the side and go down that staircase.
Okay, he would get an opportunity attack, but he is prone because he fell over the rack. And Herb, what do you do after this lovely cartwheel through the Yeth Hound sized hole in the harp?
Righto. I think I'm gonna switch things up a little bit. And I think I'm going to do some unarmed strikes. But I'm gonna flurry of blows that, which means I get 3 unarmed strikes in a row?
Yeah, and you'll
Is that
get this
right?
with advantage because he's prone.
Okay, great. All right, so I'm gonna use a key point and do a flurry of blows and get some unarmed strikes on this dude. So that has a +7 to hit. Okay, first one is an 11.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is, wow, a 12.
Neither one of those get through.
Third one.
A flurry of ineffectual
Third one
blows.
gets through. Third one's a 23.
Okay.
And I do 5 damage.
Okay, great. So you do sort of hit him, and I'd say you've got him down below 50%. He's down to like now maybe a third of his health. So you definitely sort of just pummel him into the ground. Let's jump downstairs now, where while you're doing this fight, where Bart and Thalia have run into the room, and you have joined Alicia and. Or sorry, yeah, Thalia's run into the room, and you've all joined Alicia with Hobart.
Thalia, hi! We're friends.
Hi, Bart. It's good to see you again.
We did stuff together. Did you bring any pizza?
No, I'm afraid the pizza joints had a little bit of trouble since you left, so
I own them.
you know. Oh, well, then they'll be glad to have you come back and restore order. What is it you needed me for?
Pizza, right? Pizza.
It's probably not gonna kill you.
Probably.
I bow to Magister Thalia and I say, it is so good to see you, Magister.
Zinc, yes.
This man is one of the 3 responsible for bringing the serpent through the portal.
I see. How, and sort of pulling Zinc aside maybe, and how much do you know about Apophis?
Well, there's 3 factions. None of them are so great. None of them are real that great. None of them. They're just all pretty nasty. And we thought we got rid of 2 of them, but here he is. And the guy whose house this is wants to actually kill everybody. So this guy's kind of like not as bad as that, but still pretty bad. So I'm not really sure what we should do at this point.
Sure. I see.
He probably knows how to get rid of the snake. That's like, maybe he can help with that. Because we should probably get the snake to stop eating the sun.
You've always
See.
been our moral compass. Tell us what to do.
You can see that Thalia is like holding in a lot of emotions as this information is getting sort of disseminated. But they just sort of take a deep breath, and then I think they're going to turn around and lunge at that individual, grab them by the scruff of the neck, and go, "What do you know about Apophis? Tell me now."
So you grab this, it's a Githyanki. It has sort of jagged ears and a very tall body. And he says, we summoned it to kidnap Yin Wang Ye. That was all he was supposed to do, is take Yin Wang Ye out to Scazius in the negative plane. But then he got away. He went to the material world, which was great because he was causing so much death that it was throwing the Judgment City and the afterlife into chaos, and that meant that we could take over Judgment City. I wanted a democratic group to take over Judgment City, a revolution, so the afterlife would not be controlled by the elite.
Well, excuse me for not congratulating you, but your snake is eating my son, and I need to figure out how to stop it. How do you have the means, do you have the magic, do you have you must have the facility to regain control of this monster?
He says, well, there were 3 of us, and we were all doing spells on it. One was keeping it invulnerable, one was keeping it from psychic attacks, and the other was keeping it invisible. 2 of us have been sent away. It no longer has invulnerability, and it is now vulnerable to psychic attacks. But It is still invisible until Scazius is destroyed on the negative plane. I don't know how else you would get to the sun to kill it. I mean, it's far away. I don't suppose you have flight or spaceships on your material world.
I sort of like throw him, like let go of him really suddenly and sort of like wipe my hands off. No, we don't have that kind of transportation
I
to
can
bring
fly.
us to the sun. What?
I can fly.
Excuse me?
He has a hammer that he met Thor. It's kind of a big deal.
I'm buddies with Thor.
He is buddies with Thor. It's true. But and
We're
so
gonna
he-
have to sidebar that at another point in time. We're gonna have to
We'll
talk
sidebar
about that.
Wait a
maybe
minute.
for
Hold on.
pizza.
Hold on. We know the god of portals and doors. Can't he get us to the sun? Like what is this? Some sort
Eoscar?
of-
Eoscar was banished from Sigil thousands of years ago and his temple destroyed. I am the Aethar. We live in the shattered temple of Eoscar. Haven't you been to our temple?
Yeah, and then we met the guy whose temple it is, and he was a lot nicer than you.
No, you
so-
kind of met him. He's been mazed by the Lady of
We
Pain.
flew together. We flew together.
Do you see this dog? You see this dot dog? We met this dot dog and we met that guy
Yeah, I ate beans.
Well, where is he?
in the Sondheim verse.
He's dumbstruck.
Talia is also dumbstruck.
Okay, listen. We don't have time for this. He said he would come back if we really needed help, but he didn't really want to because y'all were really terrible to him. I don't blame him. You all are awful. But we got to find the snake. So, first steps first. Oh wait. Okay, Colker's body's upstairs. Sha'Keerah's body's upstairs. They're in Judgment City. I'm a little worried about them. We have to collect all the stuff on their bodies. Hopefully the guards are dead up there. And then we need to decide if we are going to the town square, the fest hall, where there's this crazy thing that Fed's going to do. He's going to kill everyone with the demons. Or we have to decide if we're going to go to the sun and find the snake and try to get that taken care of. Probably can't do both.
Certainly you don't mean that we would portal ourselves onto the sun to fight a enormous snake that is currently eating it. Certainly that's not what you're trying to convince me to do.
Not like onto the sun, like maybe like a little satellite near it.
Are there any snacks here?
No, there's just sort of rocks and blood around the room.
Aw.
Zink stops and thinks about that for a minute and like walks around the room looking very confused to themselves.
Apophis is an enormous being. It is consuming the sun, an entire star. I cannot impress upon you enough. We have done the research. We've done everything that we can possibly do at this point. We need. It sounds like we need to kill this god. I can't imagine that we would be able to portal ourselves and then somehow kill with your bare hands or with your hammer or whatever. I can't imagine that would be possible.
Well, okay. First, he's invisible. So we either need to kill the thing that's making him invisible, or we need a spell or some magic or something crazy so that we can turn him uninvisible, i.e. visible, as it were. And thoughts about that?
Have
Aethar?
you met my dog? He's non-corporeal.
Bart, I haven't seen you for many months. A lot of what you've got going on right now is new to me. So, again, can we sidebar the dog until we talk about which god we need to kill?
Why don't we just kill both of them?
Well, it's not even the gods though. It's these factals. So I turn to this
Okay.
guy. I turn to him and I say, "So, if we kill you, what happens?"
Well, it's nothing. It's the orbs. Each of us was sending our energies into an orb that was connected directly to Apophos. My orb was taken and destroyed by Thed before he tortured me. I believe your orb caused the apocalypse at the mortuary, and only one left is Scazius and his orb.
Okay, so Scazius is at the fest hall, right?
No, he's on the negative plane.
It's on the negative plane. Okay, how do we get to the negative plane?
I don't
Well,
know,
if you're friends or whatever with this god of portals and whatnot, certainly we could portal to that plane.
Yeah.
The only portal to the negative plane was in the mortuary.
Well, the mortuary
You're
doesn't exist.
thinking
anymore.
negative planing.
You're thinking
We
negatively.
can do this.
Sir.
We got to be on the positive plane.
Okay.
Well, there is a positive plane. He's not on it.
Okay, I'm going to suggest that we go upstairs, collect all the stuff from our friends' bodies, make sure these guards are dead, see if there's anything else that we need in this house, and then go to the mortuary and see what we can find. There's got to be some sign of that portal or someone around there who knows how to get it.
Okay. While you're doing that, let's jump back down back to Judgment City. So in Judgment City, why don't we first do Sha'K? So Sha'Keerah, you have been brought into a room. Inside this room, you have it goes down a long hallway by the royal King Furby, brings you there, and this Furby sort of sits at the back and lets you do what you need to do. He sort of looks like this.
Yes.
He is not the god Furby, but he's a king Furby. He's a royal Furby, and he takes you into a room where there is a dog and a spirit centipede that seem to be the opposite sides, the two lawyers on the opposite sides. And as you come in, you are put down in a seat in the middle, and the dog begins to speak.
Wait, sorry, very important. What type of dog am I seeing?
Dachshund.
Most adorable possible. Okay. Thank you. I needed to know.
Hello.
Yeah.
It
Hi.
is me.
Unintelligible, man.
I do not have this argument prepared. Here we go.
I think he might be a public defender.
Honestly, yeah.
A public dog fender.
As he starts to bark, you notice a Tian Lung, a golden dragon, is sort of typing things down, and at the back there is a giant chromatic jelly that is at this point sort of a neutral color.
Okay.
I'd like to throw the evidence towards how this being came to be. And let me tell you, this being was meant to be killed very quickly.
Whoa, wait a minute.
However, due to her good deeds, she remained alive. That the troop that she had infiltrated that was supposed to kill her kept fighting by her side and protecting her. So I say this person has lived a good life. And a noble life.
The across from you, the spirit centipede begins to speak. I think it is an evil person, and the Furby goes boo, 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 and steps up and takes control of the situation. And the Furby says, "This is Sha'Keerah. She allowed the city to grow corrupted without questioning those in power who are controlling the levers for her own personal gain, and by valuing sensual experience over all else, she welcomed evil, and in fact, sinister experiences were valued as highly as selfless experiences, for in her estimation, both were valuable sensation. For this, I argue, she is not good nor evil, but neutral."
Whoa, wait a minute. Whose side are you on, Your Holiness?
I say neutral. You cannot speak. I am here to speak on
Okay,
your
sorry.
behalf. I say, King Fairbert, that you this was credit to who said that in the chat?
Fervor is so good.
Seth. Crunchstuff for Ferber. King Ferbert, I say you are maybe correct. I say somebody who was born from such great evil, who should be condemned to the depths of evil, has thus proved themselves to be better than that, and thus have tipped the scale slightly in their favor to neutrality. I'm not saying make them a god. I'm saying bring them back.
Roll a charisma check.
What is my modifier for this box?
Oh,
I say I'm pretty damn cute, so.
Okay,
Yeah, this is like the most adorable breed of dog that could be arguing.
A dachshund with Dame Maggie Smith's voice is pretty great.
See, I'm getting Imelda Staunton as what's her face
Imelda
in Harry
Staunton.
Potter.
Oh yes.
Umbridge.
Yes, as
But I
Umbridge.
will also add in like a little bite of the fact that dachshunds are very vicious and they will kill you. Google woman killed by pack of dachshunds and it will be disturbed.
Well, it's like a pack of them. It's not like one.
Rabid, flea bitten, they said.
Oh.
Let's say you have a +5.
I rolled an 18, so whatever my modifier is.
So the
add that.
chromatic jelly turns a bright red, and everyone in the room goes ooh, and the Tian Lung is sort of rapidly typing. Now up in the other room, Seth, you hear inside this room sort of screaming, and you turn over to see the old woman in a Dementor-like way over someone who's asleep and sucking a soul out of their body, and it goes into this sort of stitched soul bag that they have.
Is it someone who is sleeping on one of the beds?
It is someone who is sleeping on one of the beds.
Well, I think I made a good decision not to sleep on the bed then.
Yeah. You probably do. You say anything or do anything?
Keep it down over there.
She comes over and she looks at you and she says, "You can see me."
I shouldn't be able to.
What's your name, son?
What's your name?
Well, you can call me Maggie.
Okay, Maggie. Well, you're gonna know anyway. I'm Colker.
Colker Dirtwood?
The one and only?
Oh, my
Hello?
son, my son, my son. And she sort of calls a bunch of other people over, and you see a fiendish golem that looks like sort of a Frankenstein monster comes over, and you now notice coming out from under the beds, there are all these little red caps, which are these fairies with these sort of bright red caps and dripping with blood. And she says, "You're ladies, we have Colker Dirtwood here. Oh, I have been following you, son. I am so pleasant to meet you."
Yeah, lovely to meet you too. Can you help me get out of here?
You bet I can. You shouldn't be here with these lowlives. Come with me. Come with me. And she walks out of the room and she takes you aside and goes you over her saying, "What are you doing?" And she says, "He's with me. He's with Mad Maggie." And she walks you down, sort of handing coins to people as she goes, and brings you into a room. And the room you're in has a devil arguing on this side, a sort of a Abishai, and a fiend, and she says, "We're gonna get you out of here and straight to hell, my son. And trust me when I say it's gonna be very advantageous for you.
No, I don't want to. I don't want to go to hell. I want to go back to Sigil.
You want to go to Sigil, not to hell? Well,
what?
You haven't heard my offer yet.
I mean, I'm listening, but I kind of got stuff to do back in Sigil.
Just hear me out. Judges, let's do this trial, but we all know it's going to be whatever I want in the end. So let's just continue with this sort of sham that's going on. You, defender, say your piece. And the Abishai begins to speak.
Bro, this guy is amazing. Colker Dirtwood is the greatest evil dirtbag I have ever known. He's like a hero to me, frankly. I mean, this guy doesn't care about anything or anyone. It is amazing his capacity for lack of empathy. Let me tell you, anytime there's like a battle when his friends are there, he's usually just watching from the back, like, big climactic battle. People are dying, people are screaming, children, they're all dying, and he's like, I'm just gonna wait. It's really impressive. I watched him. I kid you not. I watched him watch a famous, open-hearted bard. First off, he stabbed him in the heart with his criticism, his obsession with the B session. He literally crushed the man. I saw it in his eyes. It made me so happy. I was so proud. I just wish that I'd been able to think of that. Then he got rolled up in a carpet, and Colker literally watched him for I don't know how many rounds it was, but in real time, it was almost 2 hours, slowly be choked to death in a carpet. And what did Colker do? Nothing, because that is my bro. Let me tell you, he also doesn't care about money, because, did I mention he's a drug dealer? He's a giant drug dealer. And, he'll screw anyone, but he'll even screw himself financially to screw his partners. He sold off a franchise for 3 gold pieces. It was amazing. The dude, I tell you this, he does care about dancing, but that's just weird. So it doesn't bother me. So let me tell you, this guy not only should go straight to hell, he should go to super hell and bro out with the cool kids.
The spirit centipede says, I would like to say a couple of things into Colker's goodness. He did work for a drug company. The pizza delivery guys were pucked up, but he got out of that. He stopped doing that. He got out of the drug dealer's game by Derby Dan and became a dancer. And it's true, he did become a part-time prostitute that was addicted to Numroot, but he got out of that. And he beat that addiction. And it is true that he became a were-rat, but he got out of that, and he beat that addiction. All these are good things we should think of with Colker.
He left the drug empire? No, he didn't leave it. He bought it and expanded it, not across the country, but across freaking dimensions, man. Dude he's like Scarface, man.
Please stop defending me so much.
the Tian Lung throws some memories up to the screen, and on the screen what you see is you're going to see falling into an ice age several parts of GaienBerr. You're going to see Khorasads, which you gave to the to the Triton assassin, which you flooded, and that has now become ice. You are also going to see Capitalis, and Capitalis is just covered in snow and ice everywhere. And they even show Onbeto town, and Onbeto town is likewise covered in snow and ice all over the town. And then finally, they go to Colker's hometown of Aienbon, where the drugs are made. And what you see surrounded by ice in this halfling village, protected by a giant glass orb, is greenery everywhere. And they say that during this time that the city has gone into an ice age, that the desire for drugs skyrocketed. And he became not only did the people he left in charge become the only people selling drugs to the whole country, because Colker had made a deal with the king and queen to have the only legally operated drug empire. They are now also the only people who have food available. And they have become more powerful and more wealthy than any other power in all of Sigil.
Never
That's
let
right.
it be said that that Colker doesn't take care of his own.
See, it's amazing. The dude's like Scarface. And let me like I think this really does help what I'm saying. Like
The irony of that is that after that broadsword, I have scars everywhere but my face.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, you're not above irony, but like, yeah, like he let the entire dimension that he's from freeze to death, but he didn't really. But just because he didn't care, he's like on this whole quest to like try and stop it. But like, if you ask him, does he even know who the bad guy is or what he's trying to do? He's just goofing around. It's amazing. I love it. I love it. And that's not even the only town he destroyed. Like after the big battle, they're like, here's the deal. You can be the king and be in charge of stuff. We're gonna flood an entire city and massacre thousands of people. And he's like, yeah, bro. Oh, I'm so proud. I love this guy. He's tight.
Why don't you roll charisma? And I think he's got a +5 charisma too. And I think you actually get this with advantage because that was pretty amazing.
He's been keeping better track of my character than I have.
Right. +5, you said?
Yeah.
21.
Oh, I think the chromatic jelly it looks like fire is inside of it. It is burning with the same fire that is in your background right now. Okay, let's jump back to let's jump back up to the dining room of Thed's house or the music room of Thed's house, where you guys have all gathered again together around these sort of dead bodies. Okay, so Bart and Herb and Thalia are all there.
We were talking about snacks, right?
Yes, we will get snacks. However, we need to get to the mortuary, but we need to take all of their stuff because they don't have any of it because they're in judgment.
you mean like people saved all of my stuff?
They didn't, but they should have. So we're gonna do the right thing.
I'm gonna grab
Okay.
Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah's stuff.
I will grab Colker's things.
Okay, let's see if you
I'm gonna
guys
look for snacks.
let's see if you guys can do this. So we're gonna do weight here. So right now, Herb, you have 77 pounds and you can carry 270 pounds. That's your
I
encumbrance.
think I can do it.
Yeah.
Oh,
And-
dude, you're strong.
And who are you trying to grab?
Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah,
Okay, Sha'Keerah.
presumably wearing not heavy armor.
No, Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah has 53 pounds, so you can easily grab everything that she had on her. And who's trying to grab Colker's stuff?
But we're leaving the bodies, yeah?
Yeah, you only
Yeah,
need the stuff.
I was trying to grab Colker's stuff.
Okay, Zinc. Let's see what you can do. So right now, Zinc, your carrying weight at this moment is 272 pounds, and you can lift 330 pounds. So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So you have
That's-
about 60 pounds left that you can carry. And Colker right now has, let's see, bring this up. He has 80 pounds. So you can't carry everything of his. There's 20 pounds more than you can grab.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to ask Bart if he would mind sharing the load of Colker's things.
The
so that we-
heaviest thing he has is his armor of fire resistance, and that is 40 pounds.
All right, so here's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna pick up both of the bodies and sling them over my shoulder.
After they've taken their
Yeah.
after they've taken everything off of them.
Yeah, we're friends. The worst case scenario, I can make puppets.
And what about
So maybe the armor stays on Colker. And I take all the stuff off of him except for
Okay.
the armor.
Remember the skulls? See, now I can have more skeletons. It's all coming together.
Thalia, you're seeing all this.
Yeah, there's a lot to be processing, I think, for Thalia.
Welcome back.
Yeah, just sort of standing mouth agape and trying to process, because it seems like y'all. It seems like you all have had some experience with this. Is this not the first time that members of your
No, both Bart and I died and had to do this whole thing. And so your body gets left here. You end up in Judgment City with like some really lame robes and nothing. Like you lose everything. So we have to grab all their stuff so that when they come back, hopefully is not a demon or a sludge pile, they can get their stuff back. But you know, if they do come back as a demon or a sludge pile, then we'll still have their stuff.
Certainly. Huh.
Yeah.
For the record, I have not died yet.
I'm sure not, Your Highness. How can I help so that we can make this most expeditious? We greatly need your help with everything going on back home.
All right, a dragon's eating your kid. I forgot about that.
Well, the sun, the
the
sun.
sun. Right.
Okay, Alicia.
Yes. I sent you downstairs, but I was not there present for the meeting. So where is the next step that we have to go to?
So we need to get this. So the orb that is keeping the snake invisible was on the negative plane, or is rather on the negative plane. The problem is the only portal to the negative plane was at the mortuary, which accidentally got blown up.
Oh yeah, shame, pity.
Yeah, pity. So but I am convinced that we either are going to be able to find some piece of that portal at that mortuary, or we have to go find our god of doors and portals and get him to get us to the negative plane. We got it.
I have an idea.
Visible so we can kill it.
I have an idea. How can we offend the what is she called? The great lady who walks over every.
The Lady of Pain.
The Lady of Pain. How can we offend the Lady of Pain so much that we get re-exiled?
Ooh, back to the Sondheim verse.
So whence we came to find Eoskar and bring him back with us, because we know the way out.
That's true.
But he also knows the way out now. He was.
But
just
he doesn't
like,
know that we need him.
Right.
We didn't give him a friendship bracelet.
Well, that's not my fault. My king. Your
Whoa.
Majesty.
Whoa.
Whoa. Whoa.
See, I have another idea. Which insulting the Lady of Pain delights me. I think we should do it either way. Where I made my new best friend in the fighting pits, didn't they have portals and stuff in the back room there with our buddy?
They did, yes. Akra and Barl Hoxton in the Bone and Jug do have portals. And Alicia, who I think stayed with Hobard, had already sent a rat specifically there to talk to them.
Oh.
Gosh, Bartholomew, your intelligence score has just leapt through the roof.
Look, I have fond memories of winning a drinking contest because I'm sort of like wishing that I could be in a drinking contest right now. And so it triggered it.
All right, let's go there.
Bone and Jug?
Yeah.
Yes, but let's try to insult that lady while we're on the way.
Do you?
I also need a long rest because my hit points are not happy. I think I should take a rest of the Bone and Jug.
You guys are all going to go to Bone and Jug? Jamin, King Herb, do you want to
remind
roll?
the apocalypse that's happening?
I think you should roll an Arcana check for this.
Oh. All right. What is it? +1. 14.
Okay, I'm going to say for 14, you remember that when the Lady of Pain mazed you last time was when you had destroyed your second faction totally in a massacre with the Spears of Annihilation. And
Elven Bard.
It seems to be when you fundamentally change the dynamic of Sigil that she gets involved.
All right, noted.
Okay, let's jump back down to the trial going on, and I think we should go back down to the trial of Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah. And in Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah, it is time for closing arguments. And the Dotson gets to go first.
Hmm.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Sorry,
please.
as a player. I can't. Bardic inspiration. Is that a thing I can do without
Yes, you
my-
still have all of your spells. You have all of your spells and everything that you knew how to do. The only thing you
Okay.
wouldn't have is if it requires components. You wouldn't have your spell components
Okay.
with you, but you do have all the things that you knew to do as a mortal. You now know how to do as a petitioner.
Okay. Whew, wow, that makes a very different game than what I was thinking I was gonna have to do. Before my friend gets to make my adorable lawyer gets to make his his argument, I'm going to give him bardic inspiration. Wait, hold on. My character sheet. Yes, I'm going to just quietly. You know what I'm gonna say? I'm gonna say, that's a good boy. You could do it. That's a good boy. So for 1d8 to
1d8,
whatever.
good boy.
Yeah.
What is your what's your closing argument, Jamin?
Just trying to remember the voice.
Yeah. I also need another drink.
Yeah.
Hmm. This bird is a good boy.
Sure. Okay.
And it takes a weighty good heart to change the mind of her companion, King Herbert Dunkley. For let me tell you, as the dachshund of knowledge, that's I know that King Herbert planned to execute this individual, but somehow, somewhere, some way, Sha'Keerah did melt the icy heart of King Herb and earn her place amongst the adventurers, the heroes of Sigil to save. I say to save the universes. What plane are we in? And I think that Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah is a necessary unit to return back from when she came. This is a mistake. From when she came to help, she needs to finish what she started. For she has shown that goodness lies within her soul.
The Furby says, I disagree.
Heartless Furb.
I think she should be sent to the Beastlands, to Furby Land. Let me give you the following reasons why. 1, she clearly wants to be an animal. She was a yethhound when she died. 2, at her death, she was wearing a golden Furby necklace. 3, she joined a Furby ministry when she was in Bard College. And 4, she learned the Furbish prayers. I say to you, Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah, we taka Lulu, we taka Wilu, we taka Wati, Alo Mela.
What?
I would just like to clarify that the cult I may or may not have been in college. I prayed in Furbish, yes. Did I know what I was saying? Not necessarily. So I would just like the record to reflect that, you know, my devotion to what I believe to be just and good, though it may be misinformed, you know, I commit pretty hard. Like I recognize the words you were saying to me as words. You know what I mean? It's like how we all kind of learned the sounds to Gangnam Style. Did we actually learn the translation of those lyrics? No. You know what I mean?
Pretty solid logic.
So in as you make this argument, what are you hoping that happens? On one side, you have someone arguing to send you back to Sigil. On the other side, you have someone arguing to send you to Furby land.
Yeah, okay. I thought the great Furby would be on my side as a benevolent, all-loving deity, as the, you know, the people at Bard
I think
College
this is
assured
not the
me.
great Furby. I think this is a Furby representative.
Yeah,
This
I mean,
is
he's
not
not doing
the-
a great job.
No, this is
A
not the
great
Furby
Furby.
deity.
It's just
Yes.
not the great
Yes.
Furby.
It's not the great Furby.
No, this is
I don't
just
know.
a Furby that the great Furby sort of sent. But this is not the great Furby themselves.
So it's just like, this is a deeply flawed
I want
analogy.
that sentence on a t-shirt.
So Furby.
So a moderate Furby.
Yeah.
Look, I think, if I may, your gelatinousness, my wonderful good boy of a lawyer here is trying to make the case that I am good, and this asshole over here, sorry, Mom,
Oh.
is trying to, sorry for swearing, Mom, is trying to make the case that in my eager and enthusiastic fulfillments of my duties as the factual of the sensates, that things kind of sometimes got out of hand. But I would like to say that perhaps it's not a matter of if I'm, you know, I think that's more of a chaotic entity, not intending harm, but but intending for everyone to have a good time, for everyone to vibe, for everyone to share in experiences and art and empathy. And I would say, you know, we are losing some nuance for those of us who are chaotic good. You know, sometimes, you know, you break some eggs to make an egg salad, as the ancient Elvish phrase says. Perhaps there is more unorthodox good that I can do back on my plane.
Okay, let's have all roll charisma checks now.
Cool. Okay, you have 1d8.
19.
1d8 to add to what I do.
2, yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need it because that was rough.
I have a natural 20.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait, where's my
17.
17.
I got an 8.
Plus
With-
the d8.
I got a 5 plus 1 plus 2.
Whoa.
I got a 12 plus 5, so I got a 17. Or rather, Royal Furby got a 17. But you scored a natural 20 with that. I think that the great chromatic jelly turns several different colors, and at the end it turned green. And when it turns green, the Royal Furby says, "No, we've lost her. You could have been a Furby."
And the little dachshund goes,
Oh.
I'm converting religions as soon as I'm back to my plane.
And they take you and they push you through a portal, and you are resurrected. You come to life breathing on Bart's shoulder.
Oh my God. Wait. Huh?
Hi. Well, my puppet came to life.
What? Oh, hey. Hey, Shark.
Hey. Hey,
man,
what's
how are you
up,
doing?
Sha'Keerah? I thought you were dead, but you're not. Would you like to get down?
Please, yes.
Okay.
Thank you. Whew. That was really weird. Don't die. It's not great.
We're looking for pizza. Do you know where any is?
No, we're looking for portals. We're going to the Bone and Jug. You can get a drink there, Bart.
Nice. And my
I think we
buddy.
could all use a long rest there.
My buddy the
perhaps.
Cyclops. We can have a drinking contest again.
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so you're sort of going through the streets of Sigil while you're carrying them. We're about to jump to Colker's trial. I should just let you know what you're seeing, Magister Thalia, as you walk through. This is a very strange city. The entire city is actually shaped like a torus. So the closest thing that we can show is that it kind of looks like this. If you see it, it's sort of all rolled up like this, and you can see part of it. No matter where you are, it feels like you're at the bottom of a bowl, that the whole city is round, and in the middle, there is a sort of spire going through this inside of a donut of a city. As they walk, you're taken out of a very nice area, and they're walking you into a worse and worse area as they go.
This is simply. I've only theorized about places like this. This is fantastic that you're actually able to come here at whatever cost it may have cost those of us at home. This is truly a wonder. How have you been able to navigate? How have you been able to hold your own in this strange place?
We
Killed a
haven't.
lot of things. I ate a fairy and then I was a snake.
We've tricked a lot of people in.
There was this cat person who kind of showed us around a little bit at the beginning.
Did we kill the cat? I forget.
No, he's at the Bone and Jug.
Oh, yay.
So we might see him. I bet Magister Thalia would like Kitsune. I bet they would get along.
I suppose we'll have to see. Are you sure that this neighborhood is safe? This
No,
seems
right,
a
we
little.
don't
Oh no.
Terribly not safe.
No.
But
Terribly.
we're really not safe. The
Well,
neighborhood's
after
like
that.
sort of not safe. We're very much not. I think we've blown up half of this universe since we got here.
Yeah.
You see that big like smokestack that's coming out? That used to be a mortuary.
Yeah, and that other and the armory that I killed it with a cannon, Bart.
I'm not going to lie. A large part of me wants to lecture you about just everything you just said to me. But
I killed the mortuary with garlic butter.
God.
You're the vampire. That's right.
We
All
really have gone astray, Magister Thalia, and we are trying our best to come back strayed, as it were. But things just keep happening.
Are you
Right.
like their band manager? Like, do you like?
Sorry. Who are you?
Oh yeah.
This corpse is
Oh,
just
yeah.
awoken Bart's shoulder.
Oh yeah. I just like there was a dead body, and now I'm just walking around and asking questions. I am Sha'Keerah Sha'Keerah.
We're not
Oh my
twins.
God! Wait, the fest hall. Sorry, I'm the factol of the sensates, and I think there's an attack happening on my home base. Is that still happening?
Yeah,
There
it's
is.
probably happening as you speak.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
it's
We're gonna
happening.
do a long rest.
Yeah. We gotta get this orb though. We gotta get this orb though. Magister Thalia like saved our butts a lot of times, and we owe them to get this at least to get the snake visible again.
Well, and not to mention that it was Herb's portal that let Apophis into our plane. So
But it was also Herb's portal that saved the town before this great snake was released.
I also think
Right.
as you're walking, you would notice that there is graffiti on the walls, and some of the graffiti says "All hail King Herb."
I forgot I laid that egg. Yeah, that's right.
made quite a name for yourself, I guess.
Oh, right. We have a goose that lays golden eggs.
What?
Also that.
Every time you say something, I don't know if it's a bit or if it's an actual thing that has happened in universe to you.
The answer to that
Everything
question
has
is
actually
always yes.
happened.
Oh
Everything
my
has actually
God.
happened.
It's always yes.
Yeah, I have a small following here in Sigil, but let's go to the Bone and Jug and find out what's happening, and then I can gather my troops and we can move on.
Drinking contest. Drinking contest.
Okay, you guys continue through the streets, and meanwhile, we are down into closing arguments for the trial of Colker Dirtwood, and the Mad Maggie says, "Stop this! Stop this! Stop it all! Stop the trial, Colker. Let me tell you what I'd like to offer you.
Please do.
I am not to be too bold, but I am a very powerful warlord in hell.
I gathered.
I have these little red caps. They're fairies, but they're fairies that are grown in piles of bloodthirsty demons, really. And one of the ways that I have power is I've created these, I'd call them infernal machines. They're powerful vehicles that drive all over hell, and we cause destruction. They call me Mad Maggie Beyond Thunderdome. And I've been
what is Thunderdome in this situation?
Oh, it's a little stadium in hell. It's popular among the locals. And I've been watching you. You have done some very impressive things. I mean, you basically took control of an entire continent. You became a very powerful drug czar. And
Pizza Baron.
Yeah, Pizza Baron, yes, but we both know, we warlords and drug lords know each other. And I'd like to make a deal with you. I will turn you into an incubus. Now, an incubus is basically a shapeshifter. You could look just like you do. No one would necessarily know you were an incubus. And I'll take you to Fort Knucklebone, and I'll give you one of my infernal machines. You can take it, go anywhere you want with it. One of them I think you might like very much. And in return, all I ask is that as an incubus, you steal a certain amount of souls for me. See, I need soul coins. I put souls in coins. That's really the currency of hell, and my infernal machines need them. So I'm always looking for souls. An incubus can get souls. With your talents, I'm sure you could do very well. And maybe, if you like it, you could take over my warlord empire. I mean, I can't be a hellish warlord forever. Got to retire at some point. You're
Do
just
you, though?
Well, I'd like to go to maybe the ethereal plane and live among nightmares. That would make me happy. Do you want a candied phase spider eyeball? Give him a candy. She reaches into her purse and takes out sort of a wrapped candy. Says, "Have a little candy, son."
I'll pass, but thank you. This all sounds very, very intriguing. I just want to make sure that this isn't like one of those, classic deal with the devil situations where, like, the first souls I'll be required to collect will be those of my friends, and I'll be left friendless and in debt to you.
No, not at all. I ask only one soul a week. It's really very fair. Only a soul a week, and it can be from whoever you want. A bad guy, a good
Do
guy.
I have to steal these souls in the classic incubus way?
Well, let me give you a soul bag. And she takes out a little bag of stitched flesh, and she says, "You can steal them any way you want. When you take the soul after someone's been killed, put it in the bag, and then it'll be transported to me."
How do I take the soul?
Well, as an incubus, there are several ways you can take souls. You could kiss someone, do the kiss of soul death. You could visit them sleeping like I do in a nightmare terror and take their soul. Or I can give you a weapon. And with this weapon, when you kill them, or even after they're dead, it will absorb their soul.
Now, like, is any soul good, or does it have to be like a pure innocent soul?
No, it needs to be a mortal soul. It can't be one from, from the planes, from the outerverse, but any soul from the prime material plane would be lovely.
Can I like go consult with my brain trust about this before I make a decision?
You can, but I want to warn you that, people like us who understand the benefits of being evil and stealing souls, sometimes others are allergic to that. But Sonny, you do whatever you need.
The thing is, I'm not really evil. I'm just drawn that way.
None of us are.
No, bro.
None of us
No.
are.
Don't sell yourself short, bro. Let me tell you.
Please stop defending me.
No. I got a closing argument, man. It's hard to talk like this for very long.
Please make your closing arguments.
Well, may it please the court. I'm going to begin this closing argument with my favorite word after my previous speech. But see, I pointed out all these things where he's terrible, and I think that's awesome. And we figured, let's send him to hell, right? Because he's been bad. But he's been so dirtbaggy. He's a savant at dirtbaggery and at destruction and destroying all things he touches. Is he really that useful in hell? Or is he more useful as himself, living the life he was before, wreaking destruction across all known universes? He's just, frankly, he's too important. He's too valuable not to put back out there to continue the dirtbag destruction that we all love and respect him for.
Mad Maggie says, I agree. I just think you should do it as an incubus in disguise. It steals people's souls. That's all. It's a lovely little thing for a good young man like him.
I mean, look, you can paint the smiley face on a Picasso, but he's already art, man.
But he would become immortal.
Yeah, but we can keep him immortal. He's gonna die like a million times.
He'd have
People hate him.
several powerful spells he would immediately learn that he could use. He'd gain extra statistics. He'd gain extra hit points. This is really a good
just
deal.
Cheating though, right? Because he does his finest work by just backing away from a fight. Would he really be Colker if he was effectual?
Wow.
That's fired.
What do you do, Colker?
You
Can I
hide
say?
me to play
Can I
demon,
make
you
a
get
statement?
demon.
Can I make a statement of my own before any decisions are finally made?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So first of all, I didn't mean to do any of that stuff. I did not mean to become a were-rat, a pizza baron, a drug lord, and evil.
You
It just kinda
accidentally
happened.
paid 10,000 gold pieces for the drug empire? Oops.
I was paying for the pizza. I was
And then
trying
you
to keep the drugs
intimidated your
away
boss,
from Bart.
Pucknuts, who wanted to walk away into working, basically. Your indentured servant.
Yeah,
Well,
man,
yes,
right on.
that is true. Look, all I can say is that I was pushed into all of this by situations beyond my control. None of this was truly by choice.
But it's time to take control of your destiny, son. Become the man you are supposed to be.
Destiny chose you, bro.
I am Destiny's child, then.
Wonderful.
I am ready for all of this jelly.
Wonderful. Open the portal. Let me show you the infernal machines. And you and Maggie and Mickey the Golem and the Redcaps move through a portal. Okay, let's jump back now to what's happening up here. So you guys have made your way down into the Bone and Jug. When you walk in, the first thing you see is there's sort of a room that's kind of a you just walk into sort of a sort of dirty room. There's a lot of toilets on the side, and it's pretty disgusting. And there's some very weird octopus creatures and dragons and orcs and stuff at the bar with a giant sort of a sort of giant goblin serving drinks.
Looks like your kind of place.
Yeah, where's my Cyclops friend? Let's drink.
right.
Are you going to walk back to where the Cyclops is?
Obviously. I forgot his name, but we're best friends.
Okay. Zink and Herb, do you say anything, or you just follow him back?
Do I remember where that portal room is?
I think you do, yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to the portal room. Because if anything, I need to find a room to take a sleep in. Take a rest.
Okay. You guys walk through these sort of curtains, and the bartender says, "Oh, Martin Basher, go ahead, no problem." And you come into sort of a nicer area, and this seems to be sort of more of a middle class area. There are tables and food being served, and all sorts of nice stuff happening here. And Bart sort of continues on, and Bart keeps heading out and north. And he goes through these doors. There are guards standing together. They let him go past. And he goes into another room. Meanwhile, Zink runs off through the door down this sort of hallway. What do you do, Thalia and Herb?
I will say, I will talk to the maitre d' here and say, do you know that I'm a king? And these digs are not fitting for one such as I am. So where is the VIP lounge, one might say?
Are you you came in with Bart the Basher?
I did come in with Bart the Basher, and Bart serves me.
Oh, through that door, sir.
And you walk into a very nice room where there are several lords and ladies and important people around, and a dinner is being served, and there's a jester in the corner, and there's a sort of a fancy private bathroom, and a wine rack.
Oh. I would go check the vintages of the wine rack.
And Thalia?
I'm following Zink. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, let's Bart, you run into a room, and your giant Cyclops friend Akra is there, and he goes,
Bart the Basher! Yay! Cyclops guy! Let's drink contest!
Drink, 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 drink.
Yes!
and he gets sort of a giant keg and just starts chugging it. Do you do as well?
Duh.
Make a constitution check.
I'm afraid of that. Let's see here. Oh no, 5.
Yeah, you're suffering the first level of exhaustion, so you're going to have disadvantage on everything going up, but you're feeling great. You're feeling very drunk. Meanwhile, Zink, you are making your way down a hallway with Magister Thalia. You find a sort of secret door panel, and you walk through this secret door, and you're going to come into a room that has several different portals. There are actually about 5 different portals in this room.
All right. I know we were, do I have like a memory check of remembering which portal was which? Because I know that they were explained to us at some point.
Yeah, why don't you do an intelligence check? Why don't you do a wisdom check, let's say? This is a fun wisdom one.
Ooh, 20.
Okay, great. So and before I tell it, do you Thalia, do you want to say anything about this room you've just been brought into?
I mean, I think I'm just, Zink seems to know what she's doing, so maybe I'm trying to figure out for myself what each of these are sort of doing. If there's any I don't know, investigation arcana, anything like that I can check.
I think you would notice that these portals look like the portals that the serpent slithered out of, and that were erected inside the temple to the dwarven god.
Okay. These are all quite similar to what we have on our plane. And do you think you're looking for a specific portal that would be able to take us where we need to find this orb?
Yeah. Kitsune, well, Bart is drinking with the guy that he bested. But Kitsune brought us back here. I wonder where he is. I'm like look around, like look down the hall and see if I can like see down the hall.
You don't see Kitsune. You don't see Slipknot the Kitsune when you look down the hall.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, so these portals, these are unregistered portals? Question mark.
Well, certainly if they're in a back room, I can't imagine that these are legally placed.
But they, I mean, that's how they get around in this place.
Sure.
So, you know, we're sort of forced to use them. But Slipknot and Kitsune tell us about them, and so I'm trying to remember exactly which one is which. Because I
Okay.
don't
And
want to land
before
in the
I tell you, Sha'Keerah, I forgot you were with him. Where did you go?
I think I followed His Majesty into
Okay,
the
great.
fancy room.
Yes.
And when he went to go look at the good vintages, I am fully just going to go over. It's been a day. I was literally dead. I was a wolf with a human face that could fly. And my office is being ransacked as we speak. So I think I'm just going to take whichever looks good. And I can just kind of, it's going to be like a biting of the cork. And I'm like, it's that sort of, it's going to take a big old sip and process.
While you're doing that, I think you would notice that the portals, Zinc, you would remember they lead to, one leads to the negative plane, one leads to Isgard, one leads to the Beastlands, one leads to Mechanus, and one leads to Avernus, which is hell.
Okay. So we have no idea what's going on with Colker, right?
Well, you have your bracelet.
Right.
Yeah, you did hear me tell you guys though that I think I'm dead.
Yeah, yeah.
I text him, you up?
Want a Netflix and chill?
Yeah, I'm drinking.
Pizza.
It's gonna be a long night.
Okay, so I'm going to tell Magister Thalia what all these portals are. This one goes to the negative plane, which is where this orb is, that if we destroy this orb, then the snake is no longer invisible. These, I tell her what the other portals are.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going to think into my bracelet, Colker, where did they send you?
Well, can I still hear them, or am I now even further away in
No, these
literal hell?
friendship bracelets that King Herb spent so much money on from a very powerful magical bracelet weaver transcend the multiverse.
Gotcha. I think they're taking me to hell. Like literal hell.
Great. So I tell Magister Thalia, so Colker
Also,
is
they're gonna give me superpowers.
Colker is getting superpowers in hell, and this portal will take us to hell if we wanted to go. That said, we might want to take a long rest before we go to hell, but we might also just want to go to the negative plane, but we might want Colker with us if he has these superpowers. He didn't really tell me what those superpowers were, but when
I don't
he
really
says
know what they are.
superpowers, I mean, Colker doesn't bullshit around. Like if Colker says something's the way it is, he does. He's trustworthy. I'll just say that.
I can't remember him exactly fitting that description, but nevertheless, I mean, we haven't really gotten to talk very much about what's happening in Unbedo, but I cannot stress enough how quickly we need to deal with Apophis. I don't know if we can wait around and take a trip to hell. I was sent here by the Queen to gather all of you, bring you back if we can, or tackle this problem immediately. You've wreaked an enormous amount of havoc on my plane, my home. I'm sorry, it's just a lot. But certainly if you all are needing rest, we can do that and then I guess take on whatever tomorrow has.
We need a long rest, and maybe by that time we'll know what Colker's up to.
So
Certainly.
I think you would remember that there were that Barl Hawkson has some dormitories in here. I think Sha'Keerah, while you're in that room down there, you see another fractal, and you're going to see a fractal of the Bleakers, and the Bleakers basically believe that life is meaningless. And so the fractal of the Bleakers comes over and goes, "Oh, Sha'Keerah, I'm surprised you're not at the fest hall, which I hear is being destroyed at this minute. But why would you be? Nothing matters."
What is this person's name? I would know them from work, right?
Yeah, you would know them. Let me actually find the actual name of the fractal of the Bleakers real quick. We'll go to this Bleak Cabal. You would have had you would know this person. The fractal is Lahar.
Lahar?
Yeah, Lharr, Lahar. And
Lahar.
they basically, you've had problems with these people. They think that the Society of Sensation is full of frivolous nonsense, because they think that everything is despair and
Yeah.
meaninglessness.
Lahar, it's been a bit of a day. For the first time, I think I get what you're putting down. And then she takes a sip.
Oh, great. Let's drink together.
Yeah.
And he drinks with you. King Herb, you're sort of seeing this?
Yeah, I'll pick my little bottle of wine and saunter over within earshot. I'm not gonna insert myself quite yet.
There's another
but
place at the table if you would like.
Yeah, and I'll be looking like I'm there to myself.
Okay. While you guys are doing that, let's jump back down to Colker. So Colker, you have now arrived into Fort Knucklebone. And in Fort Knucklebone,
I see why it's called that.
Yeah, it looks like a giant hand. Here's sort of what it looks like if you are looking at it from the outside. It's sort of a giant hand reaching over it. So it's enclosed by the rampart. A jagged wall made of rock bones and metal debris surround this hand clawing out of the ground, this sort of hand-shaped hill. And other highlights include a gatehouse atop which stands a dozen small figures. All of these are sort of red caps. You're at the main gate, and you and Mad Maggie walk through the gate. You see several of these little fairy murderous creatures in, and the area enclosed by the rampart is littered with trash and mechanical parts, some put together in a way that resembles a vehicle. Ramshackle structures built from the same junk as the outer wall provide shelter. A platoon of small fey creatures mills about, all looking like feral gnomes. Several of them sport tall red caps, some of which drip with vile ichor. And you would notice down in the corner are a pair of kinku, these sort of bird-shaped creatures. And these guys are chattering to each other in high-pitched squawks on one of these strange vehicles. They carry an assortment of strange tools, and they sort of are staring at you in wonder.
So is that thing like an actual hand of some giant ancient demon? Or is it just a hill that kind of looks like a hand?
It's just a hill that looks like a hand. I built it to sort of frighten people away. It's nothing, just a little hill, and on top of it we can see all the people that might be trying to attack us, the rival gangs and warlords, etc. Come here. I want to show you something.
Please, show.
She walks over and to this kinku people over there. And as you approach, you're going to see this sort of giant ship. It's this sort of flying battleship. It's got 2 ballista mounted on front. It's sort of very large. It has these huge sort of bat wings, and it seems to be able to hold up to 5 different people. And Mad Maggie says, I told you I'd have something you liked, didn't I?
It does look pretty neat.
I call this the Hell Wasp Battleship. And if you have a deal with me, it's yours, Colker Dirtwood.
Well, in the words of Montes Hollis, let's make a deal.
Excellent. Now, a couple of things I want to tell you about this Hell Wasp Battleship. And let me see real quick if I have this in my sort of maps that I can show it for you. No, give me just a quick second to do a little bit of work here so I can show you what you're looking at. She says, this Hell Wasp battleship, it does in fact run off of soul coins. So each soul coin is going to operate it for 24 hours. So if you want to run it, you're going to need to have a soul coin operating it every 24 hours. Otherwise, it's just not going to work.
24 hours continuously or 24 hours total?
24 hours total. For 24 hours, this baby will take you wherever you want to go. And as she sort of shows it to you, she takes you inside. So you begin by going up through the bottom. Let me put you all on this page so you can sort of see what you're looking at here. You end up by going up through the bottom of the Hell Wasp battleship, and it takes you to a room where there is a giant turning wheel. And there's 2 giant ballistas. She says, one person needs to be here to load the ballistas. Through each of these doors, there's a ladder to the 2nd level. She takes you up to the 2nd level. Inside of the 2nd level, there is a furnace in the middle, a sort of burning furnace. And she says, there is a fire fiend trapped in here. This is who you feed the soul coins to. And he causes your propulsion and acceleration. On either side. The fire? No, I haven't named him, but you can name him when you have it.
Bard.
I'll consider that.
And then she takes you up this sort of set of steps to the 3rd floor. And she does say, on either side, there are hatches that come up the ladders, which need to be manned by 2 people who will run the ballista. And then at the top of the battleship, at the very 3rd floor, we have the captain's deck. This is where the steering wheel is, and where an air fiend air elemental is trapped inside, and that air elemental allows you to steer the ship. If you like it, Colker, it's yours.
I have to say, I do like it.
Excellent. I'm going to give you 10 soul coins to start off with. And she drops 10 soul coins in your hand. As soon as you feel them, you can hear sort of the souls screaming out in agony.
Is it only I can hear them, or do they like make a noise that everyone can hear?
Only when you're touching them can you hear them.
Gotcha. So I'm
Are
not
any of them the
them.
victims
They're in a
of-
bag. I'm touching the bag.
Are any of them the victims of that fateful ship?
Of the battleship itself, you mean?
No, of the one that Rom ate their flesh.
Of Rom Chew's flesh as victims.
Yes.
Yes. They better
They
be.
weren't victims. They were lunch.
And
Um,
that's why you're in hell.
Shame.
I'm not even Ram Chew's flesh anymore.
She says, the only problem is you can't operate it. You need at least 2 people to get it moving, and you need 5 people if you want to fire the weapons from it. So if you'd like to take it out of here, you're going to need to get someone else to operate it with you.
He's forcing you to teamwork. Feels like a middle school science project. Like, you can't do it without your buddies.
Yep. The buddy system. Okay. Well, you have anything that can be at least piloted by one person?
Yes, I do, but they're not the Hell Wasp battleship. If you would like
Well,
something,
what
I can
is?
show nothing really. The others don't fly. But yes, I do have several war machines. I have the Devil's Ride, the Tormentor, the Demon Grinder. All of those can be piloted by one person.
I guess I'll stick with the Hell Wasp.
It's a wise choice, son. Would you like a candied eye from a phase spider?
Again, I'm good. Thank you.
She pops one in her mouth. It's so delicious. Is there anything I can offer you, Colker? I mean, while you're here, I feel like I should put some fat on you. Can I feed you at least a little bit? I have pickled vine blight salad. I have shredded sturge sliders. Maybe
there is
Yes.
something. There is something you can give me.
Yes.
Not food, I'm sorry to say.
Oh.
I'm
What
gonna
about
need a ghoul. I'm gonna need a ghoul.
You mean one of my little red caps?
I will need someone or something that will, in fact, I think a couple of ghouls or something to help me that will respond to my commands and will be able to help me pilot this thing.
Yes, let me grab two little sort of red caps for you. And these mad sort of fey creatures that are mostly teeth and bloodlust come over. And she says, yes, they're murderous. But for you, I don't think they'll kill you, but they might kill anyone else. Just a warning.
Do you have anything in a little less murdery?
Chaka, Clonk. The two Kenku come over and go, "Bark, bark, 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 bark." Well, these live to build, fix, and drive infernal machines. I could loan you Chaka and Clonk for a brief period of time.
That sounds perfect.
Now, how many soul coins bonus can you give me for this, in addition to our deal of 1 soul coin a week?
None.
No, I don't think that's going to work. I'm going to need some soul coins to rent out Chaka and Clonk.
I will provide you with an extra soul coin per week. An extra soul per week.
That's a deal, son. Wonderful. Here, just try
Also, I'm a liar, just so you know.
I know, that's why I love you. Celestial blood pudding. It's delicious.
I'm not really hungry, but thank you.
Made from angels.
That sounds like a step too far.
Angel food cake.
I understand. I understand. Chaka, Clonk, come. They're going to help you steer this Hell Wasp battleship to wherever you'd like to go, really.
Great. Now, what about the whole incubus thing?
Oh, you've already become an incubus.
I have. Nice.
All you need to do is look at your character sheet. That's something we incubi know how to do. I'm a night hag. I'm not a succubus. I know. I'm beautiful. You couldn't tell. You thought I was a succubus, but no, I'm
I
a
really
night
thought
hag.
you were a succubus. Yeah.
Surprise. Okay, while you're doing that, let's jump back up to the bone and jug. So you guys, I think while you're in the bone and jug, Barl Hoxton has sort of come down and found you, and he said, "Oh, hello, take a long nap. No worries here. Come on, mates, have a rest." And he gives you all a bed for the night. You all go to sleep?
I mean, once I finish drinking, I to see if I won the contest.
No, you're passed out.
I'm unconscious.
Yes, you're unconscious, and he has 5 beds. You all take a bed. You can all have a long rest. And when you wake up, and Barl says, "Oh, Sha'Keerah, I'm so sorry. The Civic Fest Hall has fallen. The chaos
factions lost, and it looks like the lawmakers and the mercy killers and the Harmonian Patrol have taken control of Sigil.
You know what? Let them have it. We're not a fest hall. We're a way of life. We'll figure it out.
Most of
Yeah.
the other sensates were murdered, executed by the mercy killers.
So we is maybe
kinda
not the right
balls.
word.
Yeah.
Shoot. I really messed this one up, you guys. But I guess in the spirit of looking for a silver lining, I'll sing their memory. And also they're dead, so they can't really be all that mad at me about it. So yeah, I mean, I called an audible. Look, I mean, like, what, a snake is gonna eat the world? Yeah, I can recruit more sensates, man.
That's
But
true.
wow,
You're
this really
probably the
sucks.
highest ranking one now. You're like the king.
Yeah, I've kind of Hunger Games my way to being the most powerful factal of the chaos factions.
Nailed it.
You know, it's called failing upwards, and you know, shoot for the sun-eating snake, and even if you miss, you'll land among the stars.
America.
Well, it was. I haven't told you the second part yet, though.
Oh God,
Charles,
there's
was
more.
after
All right.
after the lawmakers took control. Shocking thing, a bunch of demons from hell poured forth from Tabert Chomak, and it really destroyed them all. All of Sigil is now under the control of a guy named Thed.
They destroyed the mall.
Them
Them
all.
all.
I'm Bar Hawks and I got an accent.
That's what it should be like. Let them have them all. We can.
I mean, even Zink is doing shots at this point.
Yeah.
So really, there's no more factions in Sigil. It's now just under control of Thed.
Well, that really sucks.
Yeah.
And I kind of look around at the room. We all agree that this guy kind of sucks, right? Can we?
I tried so hard to kill him.
You did. I wasn't there for that, but in my spirit, I felt it. I felt that from you.
I have an idea.
Yes.
I'm gonna keep it private for a second, but I'm gonna exit my little bedroom and say, I'm with y'all, BRB. And I'm gonna go down to the wealthy chamber again.
All right.
And
Gonna get a little twist off for the road. Get some of the good.
no. I'm gonna just
The wealthy. There's no twist off in wealthy town.
yeah, come on. It's full.
Yeah.
Inconvenient and messy.
I'm trying to think. Okay, hold on. Wait, so I go down to the wealthy chamber. And is there anything on me that I can kind of like discreetly flash?
Well, technically, always.
I was waiting for that.
I was looking for a tasteful way to make the same joke. So I'm
Wait.
glad you did it.
Always ready. Always ready.
I have a
Dick joke.
I have one more spell scroll of suggestion. And I'm going to go in there and just suggest to any who can hear me, who among us, or I suggest, I guess I should frame it. I suggest anyone who hears me should be a follower of King Herbert.
I fully thought you were gonna do me a solid and rebuild my sensates for me. I have no idea why I thought
It's not about your senses at this
It's
point.
not
but-
about
I
my
mean-
sensates.
Have you
but
been paying
it's about the
attention?
bigger picture. It's about the bigger picture, Sha'Keerah. And you just have to trust me on this. I have a vision for what's happening.
What? Tell me how that suggestion works.
Let me just look at this. Okay, so suggestion. What do they have to do? Second level spell. The spell saving throw DC is 13.
Okay.
And attack bonus is +5, whatever that means.
Okay. In the room, there are 4 factals. The in-depths who who run the Grand Bazaar, the Bleakers who don't really care, the Ciphers who we've met before, That was the Leonin who believe in thought first, action later. And
I think I like them. I think that they might have like a special inclination towards King Herb.
And the Factal of the Fated. All but the Fated agree with you. And they say, yes, King Herb should be the leader. And the Fated Factal is like, no, we should trust Thed.
And I say, you can stay here and drink all these beautiful vintages, but those who follow me, I want you to put your money where your mouth is. And what we're going to do is go find the marching troops who are in search of me. And you are going to equip them with the finest weaponry and armor as we march into what King Herb decides is the next step to save us.
The ciphers say, we believe in action first, thought second, yes. And the in-depth say, we have armor, we control the Grand Bazaar. We have tons of weapons and armor.
Yes.
And the Bleakers say, why not? Nothing matters anyway.
Great. So in 12 hours time, we shall meet back here in the Bone and Jug, ready to follow King Herb's orders. And I want you to accrue all the men and people and women and folks on the street to rally behind the cause. I know there is a great many out there who know that King Herb is their savior.
While you're saying that, a giant Cyclops busts in the room and says, can I help?
Yes, and I will say, which one of my factions claims Sir Cyclops as their bounty?
The in-depth say, we want Accra. And he says, Accra fight. Where Bart?
Yeah, Accra fight with Bart.
Bart works for me, King Herb, so therefore you work for King Herb. So everyone get equipped, get ready, get armed, and meet back here in 12 hours, and we will go to the task that is at hand that I will then commune with my team about what exactly that is.
Herb,
but get here.
I need you to roll a Constitution check real fast.
Me?
Yeah.
I'm doing so good.
I know.
Okay.
You're going to like this.
Okay, all right.
It's a DC 10.
All right. Oh, I have a +3 Constitution. Work.
You're a monk. I would hope so.
Oh, shit. I got an 8.
Okay. You fall to the ground with an incredible migraine headache as you start to hear prayers from people all over Sigil who are now praying to King Herb. And you're hearing all these prayers. Herb, save us. King Herb, only you can defeat this. But it's too much for you right now. And you're sort of incapacitated for a second.
Can I say anything as my final words as I fall to the ground?
Yes.
I am inundated with praise. Please go.
Okay. So while Herb is doing this, Sha'Keerah, Thalia, and Zink and Bart, what are you doing?
Wait, we're supposed to be killing something like negative space, right?
Yeah, so we just woke up from our nap, right? From our long rest.
Yeah.
I'm going to think into my bracelet again. Colker, where are you?
I'm in hell, and they just gave me a flying thing.
Can you get not to hell and back to Sigil to the bone and joint? We need to get to the negative plane.
I can try.
Guys, let's go to the negative plane.
Well, we're gonna, but okay, I'm gonna go over.
It's like an airplane, but it digs down.
Are we all in the same room?
The negative plane.
Yeah, except for Herb, I think you're all in the same room.
Okay, I'm gonna say what I just heard Colker say is that he has some sort of crazy hell plane weapon, spaceship, And if we can take that to the negative plane, that will probably be our best bet, as opposed to just kind of walking in there, not knowing what's going on. And
Interesting.
I'm gonna think to Colker, how do you fly that plane?
I'm gonna find out.
All right.
Hopefully well.
Do we need to? We have access to a portal to hell, right? We would be able to potentially stick our heads in, grab him, and or at least direct him to the portal that's in this building.
That's true. Yeah, let's all go to hell then and can ride the Batmobile to the negative space.
If it's as important as you seem to think it is, Zinc, then I put all of my trust in you, and I think if we can get Colker here as soon as possible, that would be for the best.
All right.
Bart
Well,
run in a sprint to the hell portal and dives in.
Well,
Portal.
Wait. Oh no. Oh.
can I try to grab his foot or something before he fully submerges?
You can try, but I don't think Bart's strength is off the charts. But you can try a grapple.
Planning is boring.
Oh gosh.
Wait, before we go, like King
It's
Herb
not
has been in the
enough.
bathroom for a long time. We should go find him.
Yeah. Well, that's it. Yeah, I'm gonna yell down the hallway.
Drank a lot last night. You know, sometimes it
Herb?
just happens.
Herb,
Herb,
Come
you're
back
incapacitated on the floor and can't do
I've got so many voices in my head right now. I can't distinguish whomst is whomst.
They're all praying for me, though. Praying to me.
Is this another worshiper of mine?
it's your loyal assistant, Zink Gadinka.
Oh, they get a front of the line pass.
Please come back to the room with the portals. It's very important, my king, that we tell you what's going on. It's very, very important.
I think I have just enough energy to say into my wristwatch bracelet thing. 12 hours.
We just had a long rest. Can I like shout into Zinc's bracelet? Which of the bathrooms
Oh
are
wait,
you
wait,
in?
wait. How would you know what's
Oh
coming
yeah, I
out
don't
of her
know that.
bracelet?
Never mind, I don't know that.
This is
Um,
telepathy.
I'm gonna
Only Bart
Well,
shouts into his.
I'm going to
That's
trust
true.
that Thalia is able to at least sort of grapple Bart, and then because he's probably hungover, and I'm going to run and find King Herb and drag him as best I can back towards the portal room.
Okay.
No,
Thalia,
no, I cannot go to the portal yet.
do a strength. Thalia, do a strength check, and Bart do a strength saving throw.
That's not gonna be. It ain't gonna do it, folks. It's I'm in it, and I have disadvantage. No, I don't. That's stealth. Never mind. No, strength is it's a 6.
And Bart, what do you
Wow.
get?
I rolled a 5, but that means it's an 11. So
Well, there
Okay.
you go.
So
yeah.
Bart, you successfully run through, and you sort of, I think Barl's back in his room. You run out into the portal, and as you jump through, you come out at a place where wrought iron trees line a trail that leads to the summit of a steep hill. Anguished knights are impaled on the tree's metal branches, their bodies writhing in torment as bloated sturges feast upon their blood.
Colker!
He's
I
not
hear
with
him.
Colker!
only through the bracelet.
Colker!
What?
We're here to rescue you.
I don't need rescuing. Now,
Let's go. We have to go to negative space.
I know. I haven't had the chance to try and figure out how to do this thing yet. I haven't had a turn.
Well, come get me. Or
Where
I'll
are
come get
you?
you. I don't know. There's like trees and writhing people.
Yep, you're in hell.
Yay.
All right.
What do you do, Colker?
I asked the two Chunk and Chuckles, or whatever the hell their names are. Or you guys know how to run this thing? I will take that as a yes. Get us to the portal.
Are you going to? Where are you going to be in this? Where are you going to be stationed inside your ship?
Hold on while I pull up the.
Captain's chair, duh.
Right now, I feel like it's probably better if I. Where is the entryway to this?
So here,
thing?
so at the bottom. So you come up through a ladder at the
Gotcha.
bottom.
Okay, I'm going to hang on. I'm gonna hang on the ladder
Mm-hmm.
while
have
we
them-
fly, so that I can spot where
Okay.
Where Bart is.
So one of them
I've got
needs
these two guys, one to run the furnace and one to
captain.
helm the ship.
and you tell them, and I think they would know that if there is a flocks of sturges feasting hungrily on screaming crucified victims, they know where that is.
Cool.
Okay, so the Hell
We're gonna go pick up a friend of mine.
The Hell Wasp battleship sort of rises up into the air, and you start to fly over Avernus, which is hell. Here you go, my friend. You're sort of flying over the river Styx, which is filled with blood. As you're hanging on to this bottom, you see all sorts of horrible things.
I can see my house from here.
I can see Russia.
As you sort of fly all the way until you finally get to Haramun's Hill. Haramun's Hill is here. So when you get to, you're sort of flying into Haramun's Hill. Before I get there, while he's in hell and Bart and Colker in hell, now what are you doing, Herb, Sha'Keerah, Thalia, and Zinc?
Am I being dragged by the scruff?
Yeah, I think that Zinc brought you back into the portal room, right? I think that Thalia at this point wants to sees like Herb maybe has been told a little bit about his just saying 12 hours and then passing out, and is just gonna smack him across the face and say, no, you don't just pass out and let go of all responsibility, you little worm, and give him bardic inspiration through that by like trying to get him to wake up out of his weird slumber. You get a 1d6 to the next.
Slap of bardic inspiration.
I love
Yeah.
it.
Wake the
Sha'Keerah
hell
is
up.
impressed and like, be still my beating heart. She's like, trying to like seem cool and be like, some men just can't handle their breakfast wine, What are you gonna do?
Is that what happened? He got drunk?
And I don't know.
No.
I assumed he was pooping, but here, look at him.
What is this slap? How does this slap bring me back to reality? Does it at all, or?
I gives
roll
you-
a Constitution check and add your bardic inspiration.
Right, because I think
Okay.
that can be added to a
So it's
Yeah,
a raw
anything.
14. So what
Yeah.
do I add?
1d6.
Okay. +5, so that's a 19.
Yeah, definitely. You're able now to process the prayers that are assaulting your consciousness and still stay upright.
And
Okay.
I'm just standing over you like, good morning, your highness. We got to fix your problem now.
I'm gonna say I'm sorry. I think I am not only a king, but a god.
Well, they already thought you were a god when you came through the portal. Old story, old news. We got to go to hell and help
Okay.
Colker.
But what I
When
will,
someone
what I
asks
will
you if you're
offer
a
you,
god, you say
what I will
yes.
offer you is, if we're on any mission, if we wait a humble 11 hours and 30 minutes, we will have a much better chance of doing this. But you can go and I can meet you as long as you show me where you are. But I have to be here in 11 hours and 30 minutes to then lead my troops to our cause.
So we're going to take your troops to the negative plane.
Do you need them? Do you require them? Would you
I
like
mean,
them?
Well, no, actually what we need is your troops. Once we need your troops back in GaienBerr where the snake actually is. That's where we actually need the troops.
Okay, so
Need to go
why
get
don't
the Earth.
I leave a sign on the door that says King Herb We'll be back soon. Stay vigilant.
He's
On to
close for
lunch. Herb will be back soon.
Yeah, I'm putting an out for lunch sign, but like out for like hell savior.
Thalia, can you roll an
Business.
intelligence check for me? I want to check something.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Ooh, that's that's a cool 7.
No, you don't.
Awesome.
Nothing.
Cool.
Can I roll an intelligence check?
No, it would only be Thalia in this instance.
Can Bard?
Sure, Bart can roll an intelligence check.
Bartholomew? Bartholomew?
Bartholomew. That's true.
But
The
that's it.
Bastier. I rolled a 13, so 12.
Yes, Bart. You I think you realized that Akra would follow you anywhere.
Oh, I go back and get him.
Where were you?
Well, I'm in hell now. I'm gonna.
Oh,
I'm
that's
gonna
right.
hop
You're in
back.
hell. You can't. Oh, you're gonna try to run back through the portal to the Bone and Jug
Yeah, I forgot my buddy.
and get Akra, and then bring Akra back to Harriman's Hill with you.
Unless I don't know how to roll. If I can get Spot to lassie him.
No, he's astral. Remember, your dog has no corporeal essence.
No. But lassie, it's like,
Oh, you're gonna
is
send
Bart
Spot
waiting
through?
in hell? Does
Okay.
Bart need your help?
Okay, great. Let's send Spot through and see. I'm gonna do an intelligence check on Akra to see if he understands what Spot is saying. That's a no. So do we? What's the decision of you guys?
We got to go through this portal. So Herb, my king, are you coming with us to get Colker and his battleship, or are you staying here and waiting until we come back and coming with us to the negative plane, or not?
Let me. I'm gonna run quickly to my wealthy chambers where I just was before I was so
Again?
crudely dragged out.
They're pulling
And
you
see
out,
if
you run back.
see if there is at least like a steward there. Some sort of
Yes, there's a
body.
person sort of serving breakfast, sort of sausages and fried.
I'm gonna say
giant
you
space
breakfast wench. First, more breakfast wine, thank you. And secondly, might you just alert anyone who returns within the 12-hour period that King Herb has been sent away to a divine mission, but shall return to guide his followers in due time, and if they be loyal, they shall stay. Thank you, breakfast wench.
Will you do a perception check for me?
Oh dear. Of course. Okay. What is my modifier? +2. All right. 17 + 2, 19.
Yeah, I think you see her spit in the wine as she gives it to you.
There's a little name tag that
Whoa.
says Diana on the.
There is a Diana.
I was literally looking for last words in here. I haven't come across the perfect quote yet, but it'll come.
Yeah, what's there?
Snap, snap, click, click.
I'm going to say, you have been so kind in this effort. Please take the first sip. I do insist.
She looks at the orc bartender, and I think you hear him say, "I hate this guy." And then she takes a little sip and gives it back to you.
Okay, it's just spit. It's just spit.
Her own spit. It's fine.
But I'm going to
That's
at least
true.
use my little bits of intelligence and say this person's not going to follow my orders. So I will shout to Zink, be there in 3, as I scrabble some signs that say what I say to post around the area, as to not leave it to this breakfast wench who hates me.
I
mean-
don't know. Yes, go ahead.
Aren't we going to have to come back through this portal room in order to
Yeah.
go to the negative plane? We don't have a way to go straight from hell to the negative plane. So, we will be back. I think it'll be okay. I think we'll just be able to grab them on the way. won't we?
Diana would have been probably fine to do what you asked if you hadn't addressed her as breakfast wench.
Diana, the breakfast.
How dare you call Diana a
A
wench?
breakfast after all she's done, after all she's been through.
You are not a
Listen.
Diana.
That's the people's princess to you.
A
King
pretty,
Herb.
pretty girl in a pretty, pretty dress.
Okay.
The stories girls are taught to believe are not the stories that a girl should believe.
Should believe.
Pancakes.
What
Wait, I think this is the perfect
hungry.
time.
Man, we started the stream at an 11 and it only went up for me.
What are you guys doing now?
I'm gonna write another song just like that song. I really like pancakes.
No,
I really wish I had more pancakes.
Oh, please. stop.
Is that a fashion show?
Do we love this?
Are those your
Google
mother's
necklace?
pearls?
Twitch is gonna flag the stream. What exactly, I'm not sure. But
Do we love this yellow towel?
We're all going on a list.
the shades really do make that ensemble tie it together.
The next picture has this.
I'm crying.
Shades up.
I'm
I
gonna
will
walk
have
through
you
the
know,
hell portal.
I
I
won Model of the Year
Well, of course you did.
in 2005.
I think
Zinc
I
walks
think you've
through the
actually
health
seen
portal.
I think you've actually seen that painting in the castles. Is King Herb's sort of royal commission. Who,
Good old
who
days.
has run into hell? Please let me know.
I have run into hell.
Zinc, Sha'Keerah, Thalia,
Yeah.
and King Herb. Are you still there?
Barely.
He's scribbling
on.
notes.
I have put up I think like maybe 4 or 5 signs up in these 3 minutes, and I have running. It was like a leap finish into the portal to hell.
All
I
right.
thought that was a pizza and I was so excited.
Dexterity saving throw. My God.
You are all
Leap.
Pizza hell pizza. It's probably not gonna damn you.
Well, only your insides. But you know.
You mean this pizza?
God. Oh no. Yeah.
How'd
Oh
you
no.
find that so fast?
That was
Pizza hell pizza.
incredibly quick. I'm running to try to catch up with Bard at this point because he's been gone for quite some time probably.
Bart's the leader.
Yeah, but you've already started running right through this forest of terrifying shit.
you
Oh, I was talking to my dog.
you come
Dog.
out to a line of tortured souls on impaled on trees' metal branches leading to a desolate hill. Each soul is pinned to a barbed metal tree. Inscriptions above their heads attest that most of them were knights who abandoned a demon during its assault. Flocks of sturges buzz between the branches, feasting hungrily on the screaming, crucified victims. Do you do anything to these victims, or do you stand and wait for the hell wasp to arrive?
Do you like pizza? Have you tried pizza rat pizza?
The sturges ignore you.
Would Thalia have enough sort of through their I don't know, research, know enough about like the landscape of hell to be able to kind of
No,
meet
you are
Colker
a prime
halfway?
material plane person. So you've never, I mean, the things that you've seen on this trip will scar you for life. I mean, you are.
And it's not something that I would have researched at all or like known of pertaining to any religions or anything like that.
I don't think you would know about sturges. No.
Okay. Got you. Well, this is terrifying and I hate it. Where's Colker?
Coming over the horizon, you see a sort of giant ship with these sort of bat wings and 2 giant ballistas under it, and it lands in front of you. And on the ladder, hanging from it, very Tom Cruise style, is your halfling friend Colker wearing a robe, and he looks like he just came from Judgment City.
Hey guys, climb on in.
I got your stuff.
This is the Hell Wasp.
Yeah, we
Well,
remember
need
to
your
get your
stuff.
stuff. Oh,
Thank
wait,
you.
am I still carrying his body?
I think you might be.
Yeah.
You sleep holding his
Yeah,
body.
you're carrying
I mean,
his body. Yeah.
I'm definitely look.
Spooned
I
him like
found-
a backpack. Like
mean,
last
So
time.
am I now existing in 2 separate places at the same time? One
Yeah.
alive and one dead?
You're all
Yes, you
floppy.
are.
I'm Schrodinger's
Coker.
halfling.
You are Schrodinger's halfling.
Ah. Hey, look, I can poke you in the nose. You can't even do anything. Oh, I'm I'm going to use him like a puppet. I'm Colker. Here, have a pizza franchise for 3 gold pieces. Whatever. I'm fine. I'm Colker.
God, you really carry a grudge about that.
Bart
But I gotta admit, the man does a pretty good imitation.
I mean, how could you tell the difference?
Pun fully intended. Should we get the hell out of here?
Oh,
we should.
Yes.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay,
Everybody climb aboard the Hell Wasp.
here's what I need to know. Who's going to be doing what inside the Hell Wasp?
I'll drive.
I don't think so.
Chunk and Chalk are gonna be manning the furnace and the
Captain's deck?
thing and the deck.
Mhm.
Everybody else just kind of hang tight for a moment in case we need to fire any rockets.
Who's
I
going
think-
to be manning the ballista?
I think as an
That's what I
artificer,
meant, the
they
ballistas.
would like be losing their mind right now
Yeah.
and just be like wide-eyed, looking around the ship, touching everything. Just
I
amazed.
think there'll be time to gawp later.
Should
For now, we have to get to the negative plane.
Should the
Apparently.
artificer handle the ballista? Maybe that feels like.
Well, right now, we don't
Yes.
even know if we're going to need the ballistas.
Oh, we're gonna need the ballistas.
Okay,
Yeah.
then.
Almost
I think we'll
certainly.
make sure
They
we-
will find a need.
Okay. You folks man the ballistas. I'm gonna send Chunky down for you guys. He's to watch you guys. I'm gonna go upstairs and start piloting this thing.
Oh, Bart wants to ride the front with Bart's big bad guy Basher, all heroic like.
And you know what, Bart? You can do that.
What do you mean when you say
Yeah.
the front?
On the top, like on the very top.
You
like,
mean
heroically.
outside?
Yeah, outside. Like I'm like the topless mermaid, like at the
Falcor?
front of a ship.
Like on
Colker.
Falcor? Like Bastion?
Falcor. Yes, exactly.
Um,
Now we're making a reference I understand.
okay, so tell me who are our 2 ballista people?
Zinc.
Zinc and
Guys, figure that out amongst yourselves.
Is this something that requires a lot of dexterity or very
yes,
little
the
dexterity?
ballistas are going to be dexterity ranged attacks.
I have +2 decks.
Yeah.
I can help out with that if that's what's needed. Sure,
Great.
certainly. Yeah.
Yeah. I
I'm
don't
a
know about
-2 dexterity. It probably shouldn't be me.
It
Yeah,
should
she
definitely not be
It really
you.
should not be you.
So Thalia, so Zinc's going to run one of the ballista, and Thalia, you're going to run the other.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Sounds good to me.
and you're in the captain's chair. Is that correct, Colker?
Yes, and Herb, you're going to be my advisor and my navigator.
Word.
Do you know how to
Okay.
get to the negative plane?
Absolutely not, but let's go off.
Does anyone actually know how to get
I
to the
yell-
negative plane?
I yell, we just have to go back through the other portal and land in
Yeah.
the room, and then there's another portal.
Okay, well, we're
Can the
not gonna
room
land. We're
hold
gonna go
our
straight
big? Can the
through.
room?
I
As the
feel like there
advisor,
might be
I must
Bashy
speak.
of the room.
As the advisor, I must speak. When we land in the room, will this giant facility that we're in fit?
It will destroy the bone and jug.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe we don't want to do that.
Destroyed.
I offer that as my position as advisor.
We don't want to destroy the bone and jug. Definitely not. Do we have any sort of idea of a way to get there to get to the negative plane without going through the bone and jug?
No, we need to go through the bone and jug because I need to pick up an army. But is there any way?
Don't you have some sort of superpowers?
I think we have to pick up the army after we
Later.
we get the orb. So we just
have 12 hours. We have 11 hours.
We've done more in 2 hours than this whole place.
Yeah, you've destroyed my
pretty
entire
damn
hometown
quickly.
in like 2 hours before. So like,
Might I suggest?
True.
Is there
We
anything
destroyed
that anyone
civilizations
has?
in that time?
I can't
Is
hear
there-
everyone at the same time.
I'm the advisor.
Sure,
Let me
talk.
speak. Is there anyone that has some sort of like shrinking ability?
Colker's the one with new special powers, isn't he?
Can we temporarily take magic school bus us and get us tiny?
Inner space.
All right.
oh wait, we had a
Bart-
long rest. Sorry.
Bart rolls magic school bus. I got a 9. I don't know what my.
Dot becomes very, very small. He can
Oh,
fit,
Dot,
he
you're
can
so
fit in your
cute.
hand. He's like the size of a little mouse.
Does Dot hold the power?
No, he's just
Yes.
astral, so he can shapeshift easily.
Oh well, that's not helpful, Dot. Thanks for showing
I'm gonna
off.
put Dot next to my heart. My little
Can
heart
my-
here.
Can my astral shard show me where other portals might be?
No. Well, you
Does
want to
this
try to
ship
you want
have
to try to
any
go
sort
to
of any sort of navigation devices on it?
No, there's no navigation devices on it. You want to try to use astral shift to sort of shift through all of hell. You could do it, but it would take a long time.
No, I'm wondering if the portals, if in the astral plane, the portals are visible, like if they're in an infrared light in the astral plane that you can't see in the normal plane. So maybe there's a portal that we can see in the astral plane that we couldn't see in hell or somewhere else.
Yes, I think that is possible. They would have to be within visual sight of you, and you're on the first level of the 9 hells, the first layer of the 9 hells, which is Avernus.
Should we go deeper?
I think Colker, in terms of navigation, I think Chunka and Clonk do have some ideas of navigation.
Great. Chunka, Clonk. Do you guys know how to get from here to the negative plane without going through the rag and bone?
So you are now speaking Infernal, and you guys would notice that Colker's now speaking a language that you never heard before. And Chunka and
He's having a seizure. Put a wallet in his mouth.
Chunka and Clonk respond that the pit of Shumrath has a portal to the negative plane that is very large.
Great. To the pit of Shumrath, wherever that is.
Wait, can I just ask a question first? As the advisor. So now we're going to the negative plane. Why exactly are we going to the negative plane?
I don't know.
missed
You
it.
guys told me we needed to get to
Because
the
the
negative plane.
orb, yes, because the orb that will make the snake visible is in the negative plane. So now the snake is vulnerable to psychic attack, and it's going to be visible. And what was
Now-
the third one? Zink doesn't remember the third one.
Correct me if I'm wrong. In the bone and jug, there were portals to both where we just were and to the negative plane, correct?
No.
Yes, but
Is there a portal to the negative?
Yeah,
yes,
there was.
there was. But I'm
Should've
thinking
gone
that
there.
having a really cool hell ship would probably make it a lot easier.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So can the hell ship roundabout towards the portal to the bone and jug, drop me off, and I will gather my armies and flood through.
I thought
the
we were
portal.
still right by that portal. Didn't you
No,
guys
no,
just
you're
climb
that
on?
portal. Yeah, you are right by that portal. You're right. You're in Harriman's Hill, right by that portal.
Yeah,
Great. So I'll say I will meet you in the negative plane.
sounds good.
Herb out.
Herb out.
And you run down. You go back to the Bone and Jug.
Yeah.
Okay. Herb, roll an intelligence check, real quick.
Oh God. Okay. All right. What is it? +1. Oh dear, a 10.
Okay, great. Nothing. No, you think this is a great idea. So, while you're while you're in the you're
I
back at Bone and
suddenly
Jug.
think it's not a great idea.
While you're
Player
in the
knowledge.
battleship, someone, if you're gonna move these two, fire the ballistas, someone needs to be in control of the ballista loader on the 3rd floor. Who's gonna be in control of that?
Are those heavy objects or
It can
like...
really be Sha'Keerah or Bart. No, you're just running it.
Oh, I guess I can do that, I suppose.
Okay, great.
Oh, wait. Should I be the navigator? Since the king left.
Clonk is the navigator.
Clonk.
Yeah.
Oh,
Chuck
Clonk
it-
is
Chuck it
that's
and
right. That's
Clonk.
right. Yeah, I'll do the ballista loader then. Never mind.
Okay,
Yeah.
and Bart,
Yeah.
just remind
Clonk
me
is the
what.
navigator, and Chunka is showing you guys how to work the ballistas.
And Bart, you want to be on the outside, right?
Yeah, I'm the topless mermaid on the front of the ship.
Okay, so you're just gonna sort of hang on the wing, on the front, on the top, on one of the ballistas.
Right on the very front, on the top, like the nose. I'm standing heroically.
There's really nothing to hold on to. It's sort of all curved downward with this window that goes through all 3 levels.
Is or is not my hammer unliftable by mortals? Therefore, it's very heavy. I can just hold on to it.
You're gonna like try to attach it to the ship.
I'm just gonna plunk it down on the ship, and then just like hold on to it because it's very heavy.
Okay, I'll let this happen. So you take off. So the Hell Wasp battleship sort of flies off back into hell, and you're flying over Avernus again. You guys are seeing the river Styx. You're seeing all sorts of stuff as you go. There are these wrecks, there are these trees, there are demons, there are devils fighting, there are volcanoes, all sorts of stuff's going on. Eventually, you get to the pit of Shumrath, where a deep rift slashes across the surface of Avernus for as far as the eye can see. This is sort of over here. Let's see if I can get there and show it to you. And at the pit of Shumrath, the canyon is over a mile deep and filled with a lake of green slime that undulates as though breathing. From a nearby cliff, a tributary of the river Styx cascades down into the slime. There's sort of a bent iron crane that leans out over the chasm, and an iron cage containing a hairless, green-skinned monster wearing shackles on its ankles. And you see the crane sort of lowering this into the slime, immersing the creature in the goo for a minute before hoisting it back out. And as it hoistens back out, the creature seems helpless to stop it. Next to this crane, there is a giant portal.
Forward portal.
I thought you guys would choose that choice. All right.
Yeah.
Portals.
You make it into the negative plane. As soon as you reach into the negative plane, let's see, where is my map for that? As soon as you reach into the negative plane, yes, you are inside this sort of, you come out of this portal, and it's basically looks like a giant mouth with teeth all over it. So where most of our battle maps so far have been, top view down, this is side view. So what you're looking at here is a vertical plane. The negative plane, the plane of death, the black barrier, the great void, the cold land, none of these names do justice to the utter desolation that is the negative energy plane. This is a barren nothingness. There's something here that sucks the life out of the marrow and drains the spirit from a being. it devours the very soul. Bart, you immediately take, because you're not inside, you immediately take 4 points of damage, and you're going to take 2d6 damage every round that you're not in the ship. As you come out in this negative plane, these sort of clouds of darkness have been pushed aside for this one area where you see floating around all these sort of eye-like creatures, and you see Skazius putting all of his energy into an orb. I need everyone.
The bad guy?
He is the bad guy. I need everyone to roll initiative.
All right.
Oh my god. Nice.
Nat 20.
Ooh.
I rolled a nat 19, but so I got a 17.
24.
14.
18.
Oh my god, you guys rolled really high on this. Okay. So 24, this we're gonna get the ship's gonna get to go first. I'm gonna need you all to roll basically on what you're gonna do. What is your plan here? As you're the one steering it, Colker, how's your sort of plan?
Yes. My plan is to steer us slightly downward so we have a good look at a good angle on whatever this first theme thingy is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Let me pull up our Hellwasp battleship.
I think Thalia is also yelling across. You said that you've already destroyed a couple of these. How did you do it before, and how are we going to do it this time?
I didn't
You're
say
the ones
that.
that have experience. Zinc said that.
Yeah, it was pretty extreme. The way
Act insane and reckless.
So the first one was we threw it into we filled it with mana and we threw it into a portal and exploded. The next one was from a
Cannon
dart by jumping into a pool of essentially made a whole bunch of black holes appear. And that destroyed it. So this, this is a ship from hell, so it's probably has some pretty nice weapons.
So are we aiming to hit the orb itself, or the individual that's putting their energy into it, or?
Yeah, so we
What's
have
the
to
goal?
kill. We have to.
Good question.
We have to destroy the orb.
All right,
Destroy
and
all
we don't.
these orbs.
No,
so
just
there's
the orb
one.
that-
So those things are not orbs. There's one orb that Skazius is sort of pushing his energy into. These
Gotcha.
others are Zeg-Yis, and these Zeg-Yis are these sort of floating psychic eyeballs.
Yeah,
Go for the eyes.
He's putting his energy into the orb, but once we destroy the orb, it's like doesn't matter anymore. He has nowhere to put it.
That's right.
Okay.
It doesn't matter. All we have to do is kill the orb.
All right, sounds like a plan.
So swirling darkness is above, below, and on all sides, where a totem carved tower, a dark husk like a column between the blackness above and below, is dimly lit by these glowing globes. Anguished faces with flesh stretched tight across jawbones are carved out of the darkness of the tower. A balcony, the lower jaw of a screaming face, is visible in the center. Inside, there's a being in a long cloak and chanting a dark, necrotic chant, while shadows stream from his arms into an orb.
Do we
Nice.
know
Fire.
anything of this ship? Do we know anything about them?
I don't think you know anything about it just yet. No, I don't think you've learned.
I was going to say, as an artificer, have I learned anything? Because I can make all these different ballistas. So I'm wondering if I would know anything about the ballistas that I'm looking at in front of me.
I don't think yet you would. I think in this first fight you can't. It's been too fast.
Okay.
All right. So you're calling fire. So I need you to roll an intelligence check, Colker.
9.
Okay. Roll a dexterity check, Thalia and Zinc.
6.
12.
Oh God, you guys. And so both of your and Bart, what are you doing on the front?
I am, it worked once. I'm going to fly towards the eye and try to cannon Bart the eye.
Okay, you're gonna one of these floating eyes around. You're gonna try to
not
attack
the eyes, the
orb. Okay, you're gonna try to fly to the orb. Okay. Bart, go ahead and roll an intelligence check.
Uh-oh.
Yes, you're on the negative energy plane, where once again, physical attributes don't count.
No. Well, but like I'm full of positive energy. I could be like a supernova in this place.
You could be.
Okay. Natural 20.
All right. You are able to fly off. Let's see what you've got. You fly off the ship. I'd say you can get all 30 feet. So you're not quite there, but you're getting close to it. You sort of fly through. You natural 20. Actually, I'll let you go. I'll let you make it. I'll let you make it there on a critical. So you fly through the space and you come to Scasius. Are you gonna try to hit him?
No, I'm gonna hit the orb.
You're going to try to go right past him and hit the orb. You don't quite get to the orb yet, but you're close to it.
All right. Well, then if I don't get to the orb, then I'll hit him.
Well, you can get to the orb next turn. Do you want to stop to hit him?
I want to hit him on my way.
Okay. Go ahead and try to hit him. Tell me what you do.
All right. I'm definitely going to use my advantages now.
Uh-huh.
Okay, here we go. We'll do Brittany first. Ooh, 24.
That definitely gets through.
Okay, let's see, Brittany. That is not that's 17.
Okay.
And Bart's big bad guy bunker. Oh hell yeah! 23.
Okay, yeah, those all get through. The little floating eyeballs, the Zegi, now try to attack you. They multi-attack.
Hold on, I gotta do damage for.
Do damage. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, please.
Oh my gosh, do damage. Yes.
Oh jeez. All right, hold on. We do. So that is 9 plus 3. So another 12 points of damage. Now bring the eyeballs.
Okay, so all these sort of Zegi come and they latch their little tentacles onto the ship. As they latch onto the ship, these Zegi have these sort of little claws that wrap around you, and these sort of tentacles start to dissolve with acid. So each one of these Zegis, they start to sort of do acid on it, and it's beginning to wear through the ship, but you have enough time. Scasius now, okay, Bart, he's immune to lightning damage. Just
that's all right.
FYI. He uses his claws to attack you. And he is going to do, it's a 10. That doesn't get through your armor class. Okay. King Herb, you are still down in the group. This is happening immediately, so no one's coming into the room yet. You've still got another 10 hours to wait.
But it'll be like Gandalf in that little army of the dead coming down the hill.
So what are you trying to do?
Breakfast wine.
What I'm trying to do is be the hero. But it seems like they need me now. I've
not a real dog.
In 10 hours I will be there.
Okay, great. So you're just gonna keep drinking in there.
I didn't say drinking, but I would say a little bit.
And I'm not saying not drinking either.
Okay. Everyone, it's time for the Hell Wasp battleship to attack again. Dot is very upset.
Dot is have
Sorry.
a lot of
Dot
feelings.
is very upset.
It's a big dog, big bark for such a tiny little dog too.
So your ship is, by the way, taking 10 damage. And the ship has 120 hit points. So it's got 12 rounds it can last with 2 of them. More
Okay.
get, it's going to double up. Okay. Captain's log, start date 2022.
All right. Fire.
Okay. I need you to roll an intelligence check.
Six.
Okay. I need Sha'Keerah and I need Thalia and Zinc to roll dexterity.
15.
15.
Great. And Sha'Keerah, I need you to roll a wisdom on loading this puppy.
All right. Oh, okay. For loading, that's going to be just a check, not save, right?
Yeah, wisdom check. Yeah.
Wisdom check 18.
Okay, great. It's loaded efficiently. And what are you aiming for here, Colker?
I believe we are aiming for the cloud.
For the cloud. And Zinc and Thalia, are you guys aiming for the cloud?
I believe. Well, do we have sights on the things that are latching onto us? Like, would we be able to shoot those off of us?
I don't think they're on the ballista. They're sort of on the windows itself.
Okay. Then yeah, I think on towards the orb as well.
Okay. 15 is going to get through, and tell me how much damage you do. The Hell Wasp battleship, the ballista do 66 plus 4 damage each.
Nice.
So who among us rolls?
The two ballista fighters.
Oh, I mean, we're-
You were a little shaky, Colker, in flying it, but luckily they were able to get their ballistas in.
21.
21 and Thalia?
14 plus what am I adding to?
You 66 plus 4.
Okay, so then 18.
Okay. And Bart, by the way, 18, great. So we had 21 plus 18. So in total, you guys did 39 damage, right? No, 49 damage. Great. Okay. No, 39. I was right. 39 damage. Okay. Bart, you're over there. You take another 5 points of damage from being out in the world. And what are you going to try to do
That
now?
way when I went to college.
What are you going to try to do now?
All right. Oh, well, I'm now gonna bash the orb. That's our whole thing, right? Let's kill the orb.
So you fly past him to try to bash the orb.
Yeah.
He gets an opportunity attack as you go by.
Bring it.
His opportunity attack does not get through, and you get to the orb. And how much damage do you do to the orb?
All right. Well, I gotta. Well, here's the thing. Does it have an armor class?
It does have an armor class, yes.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Here is Brittany. Brittany 19.
That gets through.
Yes. All right. Let's do. That is 14
Mm-hmm.
damage, and then here comes Bart's big bad guy bunker. That is 17.
That gets through.
Yes. All right. And we're gonna do this. Plus. Woo, nice. 19.
Okay, you are up to 62 damage on this orb that you're taking out now, and Skazius now is very upset, and he comes at you, Bart, and Skazius comes right next to you, and he is going to attack you with let's see. He launches rays of darkness at you, and each of these rays of darkness are instantaneous. I need you to do a Constitution check.
Okay. Save or check?
Check. Check.
Because it's
Save. A
doomed.
Constitution save. Saving throw.
Yeah,
Saving throw,
there you
yeah.
go. I just rolled persuasion on the DM.
No, it should be.
13.
13 does not get through. And
Can I use Flash of Genius?
What's your range on that?
Within 30 feet.
Nope, he's 60 feet away from you.
Damn it.
Bard,
on, Bart.
you are taking 9 points of damage and you are stunned for a round. The Zegi, more of them have come and now they're around your ship. This time your ship takes 20 points of damage from 2 more Zegi who've come around. So at this point, the ship, which was taking 10, now takes another 30. So now it's at 40 HP damage, and the ship has 120 hit points. The acid is slowly breaking through it, and you are stunned. Herb, you're down in the bar drinking your wine.
Just checking my watch.
Are you saying anything into your wrist?
Oh, yeah. How's it going, guys?
Why aren't you here?
I've got an army.
Well, bring your fucking army then.
Well, they'll be here in 10 hours.
Hey, did they get ESPN in that bar?
Yes.
Elvish Sports and Profits Network.
Yeah, exactly. Good job.
Okay, I need all
any scores you want to know?
Would I
Well, I've got it taped. Don't tell me. Don't spoil it.
Okay.
would I, as an artillerist,
There's great
Have
Elven
any-
games last weekend.
have any ideas? Would I, as an artillerist, have any ideas about how to increase the potency of the ballista?
I'm going to say this. If you want, you can spend your turn not firing and learning this round, but it will be an intelligence check, and you'll have to spend this round learning. Do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Okay, roll an intelligence check. I'm going to give you a DC 10.
20.
Okay, next round, you're going to be able to start doing your artificer adaptations onto these ballista bolts. I need you to roll intelligence check, Colker.
Three.
Oh, geez. I need you, Thalia, to roll a dexterity check.
That is 15 again.
Okay, and I need you to roll a loading check, Sha'Keerah.
Can I,
Mm-hmm.
if I see Zinc, if I see them looking at taking a moment to look at the things, can I do something else instead of loading?
Yes. Well, you've got to still load one bolt, but you
I still have to load
I'd say
one.
you can have a bonus action. You can load one and then have a bonus action.
A bonus action. Okay. Okay, then I'll load. So roll. So
A wisdom.
It's a wisdom check for me to load.
Uh-huh.
9.
Okay. And what's your bonus action?
What are my actions? What of my things count as bonus actions? Sorry, I was like trying to figure out which of these things count as a bonus action and not as. Could I make the case for a cantrip as a bonus action?
Sure.
All right. I'm going to use Firebolt as a cantrip and just throw it at the guy.
Like through the window.
Oh, I'm in the window.
You're
Yep.
inside the ship.
Yeah, dang.
Are you gonna like try to break the window?
No, because that would be really stupid.
Then you're all gonna start taking damage from the negative energy.
Yeah,
plane.
even from Sha'Keerah, even for Sha'Keerah, that would be really. They can't hear me through the thing, can they?
Mm-mm.
Okay,
You got
yeah. All
a
of
bracelet. We all got a bracelet.
See, you are the only one who I know shouts through their bracelet. So I don't know if I know how the bracelet works.
Recorder.
See, that would only be heard in Zink's mind, though. Unfortunately.
I know. You're like, Bart, son of a.
Okay. So then I guess.
Music.
Here's a question:
Yeah.
Is the wizard guy wearing any metal on him?
Scazius is not wearing any metal. He is wearing a dark robe with a lot of sigils on it.
Ugh. And the orb is not metal.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so never mind. Then I don't have any. Oh, you know what? For inspiration, I will use bardic inspiration. I will give it. Oh, it has to hear me. I will give it to Zink then for whatever they do next to have an extra D8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. And that concludes my turn.
You give it to Zink.
Yeah.
Scazius at this point conjures mirror image. So suddenly there are two Scaziuses, three Scaziuses, and you don't know which one is which.
Scazi-eye.
Scazi-eye. Bart, you're
Seth,
down.
cool, high five.
Your ship takes another 20 points of damage. It is now at 60. It is at half health. You can see a little acid coming through, and yet another has come up. So it's actually has taken 65 damage. So out of that 120 hit points, it is now at 55 hit points. Bart can't move, but you're gonna get the next round, and I need you all to roll. Zink, you have a chance now to put any of your artificer infusions onto these ballista bolts.
Oh man.
Seth, roll an intelligence.
Do it better this time.
15.
Great. I need Thalia and Zink to roll dexterity.
Thank you for the encouragement, Keith.
Hey,
5.
it's so encouraging all night.
5, Thalia?
Yeah, 5.
Oh gosh.
At any point, have we had the option? Have we had the option to be able to move this ship forward, or try
Seth,
to
have you
shake
wanted to
these-
move this forward at all?
I thought we were moving forward.
Yeah, I assumed we were moving towards getting.
Here, we can do that. If you had wanted, especially with that 15, you can move forward. It can move 100 feet, so this thing can get right up next to him if you want.
Yeah.
Let's do
Oh,
it.
yeah. Okay, that's way better.
Or are there any actions that we can take to like shake some of these eyeballs?
Ooh, Seth, are you trying to do that?
I think I am. Yeah, I'm trying to sort of make
Yeah.
everybody hold on tight, and I'm going to go kind of Star Trek on it.
And I think Thalia on their turn, whenever that was, would have yelled up, "We need to shake these, Colker. I know that you can do it. Come on!" and give you bardic inspiration.
I'm shaking.
Just
I
screaming.
think on a 15, you can shake 3 of them off.
Right.
All
right. I'm fire.
Okay, Thalia, you can now roll with advantage. So you have a 5. What's your next one? You're this close. You can roll with advantage.
Oh, good. That's 8.
And Zink, have you decided what artificer infusion you're going to put on this?
Yeah, so I'm trying to figure out, so there's like armor and homunculus servant and enhanced defense, but those are like all for me. Like I want to take the so like the staff of power has a thing called globe of invulnerability. And so I'm wondering if there's any way to cast that outside onto the ship.
You could only do that, I think, if you you could cast invulnerability onto the ship itself. Yes. The globe of invulnerability is a 10-foot radius. So it couldn't do the whole ship, but it could protect your little firing area.
Yeah. Okay. Let's do that.
Your sort of gunner area.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. And I'm going to say you can also roll a dex check, and you can also shoot one of the arrows. So you can do vulnerability and shoot.
21.
That gets through. So with the yours does not get through, Thalia. It goes wide. Yours does get through, Zinc, and you had rolled successfully on that. I need you now, Sha'Keerah, to roll another wisdom check. And Zinc rolls 60. What I say, 66 plus 4, I think.
So yeah, it was going to be a 12 for me.
Okay, 12.
Wisdom.
Okay, 12.
22.
It's a little sloppy, but you get it loaded.
Yeah. I was too
22.
busy trying to think of a cool cantrip, and it just didn't work.
You got a 22 damage.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So you have at this point done 84 damage on the, and you're all still just attacking the orb, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Bart, you get an action attack. You're back in the game.
Yay, I'm doing it. Okay, here we go. Two things.
Mm-hmm.
One, I'm going to give my second wind to give myself some hit points.
Mm-hmm.
Which will be 12 more hit points.
Okay.
Then I'm going to use my action surge with
Mhm.
my last advantage for 3 attacks here on Orb Central. All right,
on
so
orb, you're only attacking the orb. Okay, smart. Okay.
all I care about is the orb. That's all
Okay.
I'm trying to.
Okay.
All right. So, and that's what last round I hit the orb too,
Okay.
not the guy. All right. So let's do. Yeah, I'm gonna do 2 Bart's big bad guy bunker and 1 Brittany. That's my
Uh-huh.
plan here. All right. So attack number 1 for bunker is 19.
That gets through.
Okay, so that does it is 15.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Bart's big bad guy bunker number 2 is, come on, stay on my desk. 17.
That gets through.
Yes. Okay. Then ooh, yeah. So that is 12, 17, 18 points.
Okay. Here's what happens. You exploded. It blows up. Seth, I need you to roll an intelligence check as you try to pilot this ship away from the explosion of the orb.
Uh-oh.
16.
You are successfully get up, and Bart, I need you to roll a Thorish Constitution check. Constitution save. Constitution saving throw.
Save. Yes. All right, here we go. Oh, okay. 22.
That was a DC 18. You successfully survive, just like Thor in the Forge, and it blows up. All the Scaziuses disappear, and the eyes are thrown over, and Scazius is blown out of the way.
Bart didn't die. Bart didn't die.
That is where we are going to end tonight. You guys have successfully destroyed the orb, and you have saved both the ship, even though it's now down to 55 hit points, and Bart is still alive in the realm, and King Herb is gathering an army for who knows what purpose.
Hey,
King Herb is drinking.
purpose. There's more to do.
We did it.
Noble.
We did it, team.
What is that, Keith? What is that?
That's my young modeling photo in my glow in the dark Phantom of the Opera.
Oh my
shirt.
god,
Thank
I
you very
literally
much.
own that same glow in the dark Phantom of the Opera shirt at my parents' house.
Yes.
Amazing.
Oh man, that's so good.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys.
Well done, everyone.
Thank you so much for participating. It was great. Thank you so much
I
for
was
joining us,
finally
Mo,
useful.
for coming back. Oh, you're the captain of the ship.
That's right.
Do you have a captain's log to leave us with, Colker?
Yeah. Stay the course.
You're here.
I start playing the Wellerman on my lute. I mean, it is a ship, so whatever.
Bye,
See you next week,
everybody.
y'all.
Bye. See y'all next
See you
week.
next week.